Yep. 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 All right. All right. Ooh, man, we back. Oh, what a weekend. Holy hello. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the VOD. And good morning, my friends. Good morning to the Dragon's Claim and other adventures guilds out there. I don't know why they'd be here, but to be fair, I don't know why anyone would be in the Dragon's Claim to begin with, but hey man, what's up guys? Good to see you. Welcome back. Good to see you, Cass. Lydia, what's going on, Jacob? Good to see you, Buns. Good to see you, Thorkin. Good morning, Brooklyn, Lexer, Alf. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning. Even Atari underscore 2600. Holy shit, bro. Middle named and last named today. Goddamn, man. Good to see you guys. So the weekend was a success. Yep. Ella and I went out for EV Community Day both days. Caught like 700 EVs. Why? Don't worry about it. 35-year-old things to do, you know? A checklist? Exactly, man. No, I got all my notes here, bro. I got all my notes because we got to get some serious work done today. We also have to get some serious nonsense done this week because I have Ren Fair, bro. Ren Fair. Hello. What's up, Adaria? Let's see. Acacia. What is this? Is this a tree meta? This appears to be. It is a tree meta. I was right. I like the acacia tree. It's the best wood in Minecraft. I'm going to give it a solid 7.4. Thank you for 100 bits. And thank you, Cross the Streams, for the 38 months. What's up, dude? Good morning to you as well. Goddamn, bro. Goddamn. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the bits and the sub, man. You know, you could sub anywhere on the internet. You could sub to any Twitch channel. You could sub to any Kick channel. You could sub to any YouTube channel. And you sub to my channel. That means a lot. So, thanks, bro. I appreciate it, you know? I appreciate it. Yes, so we got Ren Fair this weekend. Had a busy weekend last weekend. I'll have a busy weekend next weekend. I'm nervous. All right? I'm just going to say it. I'm nervous. We got Ren Fair things to do this week. I got to prep. I don't have... I bought 2 extra shirts. And I bought an extra pair of pants. So I should be all ready to go for Ren Fair for the whole weekend. But god damn, this is a substantial trip because we have to go up the day before and we have to leave the day after. So that's a 5-day trip. That's not good, man. That's a lot of time spent away. That's longer than any other convention or whatever that we have to do all year. So this Ren Fair better be real good. It better be real slick, or else we're probably never going back. Because good God, man, being gone for 5 days. Think of it. If I instead just did coffee requests all weekend, oh my God, the amount of work I could get done. Could you imagine? I'll try and get some stuff done while I'm gone, but obviously, you know, won't have my computer. We'll be at Ren Fair. It will be nice though because Ella and I will be sitting together at the same tent, whatever table thingy, which means I can huddle behind something and just do some work probably. Sketch cards and the sort. Maybe I'll bring some sketch cards for the trading card, Eldar trading cards. Maybe I'll do some of those. Ooh, actually I don't know because it's outside. There can be dirt outside, you know, dusty wind and whatnot. Maybe that's a bad idea. I'm just realizing that right now. What's up, Steve? I missed it. Where's the Ren Fair, or where the Ren Fair is? Oh, so the Ren Fair is in central Alberta, in a little town near Edmonton called Vegreville. It's a very new Ren Fair. I thought it was an established one because it's so big for our area, our neck of the woods. Apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently in the last couple of years, basically all the big Ren Fairs in Alberta, in my province, have plopped up just out of nowhere. And that's pretty cool because it means that people are like excited about it. There's like another couple of Ren Fairs that are being talked about being held in the cities. Big events, you know, and Ren Fairs are great for Ella, for one, as a dice maker. Apparently they're good for me as an artist because Ella took a bunch of my art to Ren Fair 2 weekends ago. I didn't go to it. I just helped with a couple of things and then wasn't there all day. She was on her own for most of it. But she said my art did really well, and people bought a bunch of prints of dragons and things like that. The Emporium, people wanted the Emporium. They wanted the lore, and they wanted the information, the details, the table of things you can get with the Emporium. So I got to do that at some point in time. Make a little zine of it or something like that. Make Sir Cobalt very happy to make my first zine, an Emporium zine. But yeah, apparently they did pretty well. You know, they did pretty good. People liked them. People enjoyed the art. So, you know, Ren fairs are a good event. The problem is there's just a lot of them right now. And although they're all good, it's like pretty exhausting to have to go around to, especially because Elle and I have to go together because, you know, Elle's not going to go alone, travel to a different city and whatever all alone. So, yeah, but I'm excited about this one because this one's supposedly the biggest one in the province. And they're all growing, which means that maybe in a couple of years, we might have a serious reputation for being a substantial place to go for Ren fairs in Canada, because right now it's basically just Quebec, maybe a little bit of Ontario. I don't know what they do in Ontario. Certainly not build cars there, or trap things. A little North Ontario joke for all the people that grew up in North Ontario, considering there's single-digit or amounts of them. The likelihood there in my stream, probably not there. But anyway, yeah, so currently Eastern Canada has the reputation for Ren fairs, especially with Bitcoin collect, whatever the fuck. I don't speak French, man. The big one in Walmart France is the one people think about, but hopefully maybe Alberta will grow in a little bit of reputation as well, and people will come out here and we'll be able to expand. And could you imagine if we had a permanent Ren fair at some point in time in Alberta? I can. Playtested RPG, I'm proud to announce that I fixed initiative so that the turn order is actually interesting and that Timmy isn't on his phone looking at what spell to use for the next 5 minutes or watching TikToks. Damn, bro, how do you get that done? Because I feel like that's a problem with you know, in general. Good morning, Guapo. Thanks for the 51 months, bro. Hi, man. How's it going? What's up? Hey, Guapo. Thanks for 51 months, bro. I appreciate it. Hey, man. What's up? If I remember right, Vegreville, VEGER, I think it is on its way to Vermilion. I don't know what Vermilion is. That might be a place in Alberta. I've never been there. I've never been to Vegreville either. That's all north. I don't go north all that often in the province. All right, there's like nothing up there, man. Like even like north of Red Deer, there's not much there. Edmonton's great. The people are great. Edmonton fucking sucks. The people are really lovely, but the city of Edmonton is trashed here, even though the people are lovely and they deserve a better city. So I wouldn't go up there normally. And then Vegreville obviously is that way from Edmonton, so I wouldn't know what else there is, but I'll have to look it up. I seem to remember driving through it once upon a time. Yeah, maybe. I guess if you had been going to Saskatchewan or something through like the northern kind of Jasper route instead of the southern kind of Banff route, could be. I don't know. It'd be a new adventure for me. They have a giant Ukrainian egg there. I'm Ukrainian, you know.
Is this the button
right?
I pressed to get
Hey,
Evan
Steel.
Senpai to notice me?
Yes, what's up?
Hello?
It is.
Is this thing on?
Correct.
Oh,
yes.
Hello there, Evanovsky.
I have noticed you. Hi, Steel. What's going on, bro? Thanks. 6 months in advance at tier 1 for 32 months total. Good God. What's up, Steel? How you doing, bro? Hope your birthday weekend was glorious. I don't know what you would have done on birthday weekend, Steel, but I hope it was majestic. So don't make me calling on for Cobalt. He hears you. He hears all. He is a mod in this channel after all. Mapache Guapo, so he knows. A bunch of years ago, I was working with the northern colleges, so Lesser Slave Lake, Vermilion, and a few other places. All the things we had to fly through Edmonton and then drive for many hours. Oh, okay, yeah, you probably know the area better than I do, even though I live in this province, because I just never really traveled that far. You know, I've only been out of Edmonton in my lifetime that I can think of twice, and they're both as an adult in the last 5 years. Once to kidnap, yoink, and purchase my dog, and the other to go to St. Albert for supplies or whatever. So I don't know shit about that area of the province. I don't know, man. I'm a mountain boy, so I stay south. Finished making the rolled crepe cake, and then went to my aunt's house, and she got me one of my favorite cakes, so pretty happy. Been working on the World Anvil summer camp, and I'm sponsoring one of the promises here. That's awesome, dude. That's actually fucking rad. I made the unfortunate decision while I was contemplating musing my mortality that I would not even try at summer camp this year. I was not going to even attempt it. I washed it from my mind, rinsed it from my hands, and circles the drain of the decaying thoughts of my mental station. So no, I'm not gonna even try it. I'm more or less too busy this month, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. It seems cool though. I'm really excited everyone's doing it. You know, it's got a great summer tradition. I got too much stuff going on right now. Super easy, barely inconvenient. Players each get a turn per round in the order of their choosing. As a GM, I start with turns equals number of monsters divided by 2. Whenever I want, I get +1 turn whenever a player fails an action, which I can also use whenever I want. Highly recommend, super easy to use and a lot more interactive. That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, that's pretty dynamic. I like that. I don't know if people are gonna be smart enough to figure that shit out, Thorkin, but that sounds really dynamic and really cool. A lot more, I don't know, interesting pace. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool, bro. I like that. It's kind of nice. That's a great idea. I've been thinking about initiative actually a lot with my own game. You know, at least running the possibilities of running a game pretty soon with a bunch of NPCs. So I don't know, man. It's good to think about. The problem's pretty interesting so far, but completely understandable. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try. I don't know. I had a bit of a what's the word? I don't want to say an epiphany. More than a realization. I understood something about working with oneself this weekend when I was contemplating and sort of writing about my organizing my thoughts and things like that. And I realized that I need to learn to let things go. I need to learn to let opportunities slip, to say no to more things. You know, I want to do everything. I want to do everything for everybody. I want to respond to every message. I want to whatever, you know. And I realized over the weekend that I have done a good job in opening up myself for opportunities over the last couple of years. But as that window has been blown wide open, now I need to begin to narrow my focus and narrow my attention quite a bit to avoid feeling overwhelmed. So there's all sorts of stuff that I want to do, all sorts of projects, all sorts of whatever. The first stage basically was a couple months ago when I more or less just stopped responding to DMs on Instagram and shit like that. When I just gave myself permission to not owe a response to people, right? And to close my commissions down, not take on any waitlist stuff down the road, whatever, doesn't matter. And I think that things like summer camp or whatever, things that I really want to do as well, in theory, would be great or whatever. I just have to let it go, you know. I just gotta let it go. I gotta say, as much as I would love to do summer camp, I'm not gonna sit here for the entire month trying to find time for it, you know. And then you just feel guilty and bad. You're like, oh my god, it's the 10th already. I haven't done a single prompt. Okay, when am I gonna find time? Well, I'm busy this weekend. Am I doing that? Am I gonna, you know, going here doing that thing? Am I gonna find time? Can I build if I do like 3 prompts a day for the last, you know, 5 days or 10 days a month? Nah. Time to let it die. Time to let it go. And for lots of other things too. So and be a little more I don't know, hopefully a little more focused and healthy in the things that I want to do going forward. So I don't know, it feels good to like make a plan that you can kind of believe in and go forward with it. I like the idea of group initiative where 2 or 3 of the players go at the same time after figuring out what each is going to do. Yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna maybe do it with Ella and the NPCs. I'm going to have Ella and the NPCs turn, and I'm going to have Ella and her NPCs decide, well, Ella decide for her and NPCs who's going to do what, right? And then if it gets to like, they all just like sort of one shot the one guy or whatever, or it gets to like, you go, I go, you go, I go. If it gets too much like that, then I might have once in a while a guy interject and do just a quick little attack or a quick little swipe or a slash or whatever. So I guess maybe in some ways similar to what Thorkin was talking about a little bit. but just being willing to simplify the sort of the understanding of like, it's my turn to act, now it's your turn to act, now it's my turn to act. I think it's gonna be very easy for a one-on-one D&D player as well, who has to maintain multiple initiatives. I think it's better to just have one initiative. It's just her initiative. But then again, it probably, like, she probably won't have more than 2 NPCs with her at any given time, and she probably won't be fighting more than 5 guys. So that's pretty good. I think that's like, you know, 5 could be stacked. But if let's just say I have 4, then she has 3. She could go twice, and then I can like take one of my 4, go once in between, and then do 3 or whatever. So that'd probably be I don't know, the most interesting way to do it. I'm still contemplating how to do this D&D game, right? For a lot of reasons, because I really want this to be a fun game for her, a fun game for me to want to DM, and I really want it to be a legacy, like kind of decade D&D campaign that I can run, that I can bring people in here and there, and then, you know, when they need to leave, obviously they don't have too important of a part or too important of a role that they can't, you know, stay. And I think I made the decision that I think that it's better to sort of pick your players in a long-term campaign like that. Have your players pick and choose whether or not they are going to be very serious, committed players and thus have a lot to do with the story, or far less commitment and more freedom, but also far less impact, you know, because a lot of people want the best of both worlds. They want it all, but I think it just doesn't work anymore, you know. If you have 8 monsters, you start with 4 turns plus 1, or when at 1 plus 1 whenever they fail a check. Pretty easy to understand, in my opinion. We just use d6 to keep track of my turns. I think it's easy. I just remember this is Wizards of the Coast D&D that thought that flat-footed and touch AC was too complicated. That's all I'm saying, Thorkin, is like, take the bar that you think the D&D players can jump over and probably drop it on the ground instead, and just tell them they're not allowed to have shovels. So what's up, Xeno Queen? Good to see you, dude. Good for you. I get that FOMO type feeling with opportunities like doing art fight and whatnot, but I end up just accepting the fact that I'm doing other things, and that's okay. Yeah, I think it's important though early on to basically say yes to almost everything, to open yourself up to as many opportunities as possible, to do all the things, right? Very important early on. If you don't have like a solid base, which I haven't had for the first 4 years of doing this, it's very important, obviously, to say yes to everything, if as much as you can, you know. But now it's like making the transition period between like burgeoning artist to now trying to build something. It's like very different. But yeah, I feel like a weight came off my shoulder with all the stuff that I just let go, you know. And I'm going to disappoint some people that wanted me to do something here or there, whatever, you know, that asked me to do something if I had the time or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, maybe. And they're going to be let down or disappointed. But you know what I've realized? What's kind of crazy? I've realized the people that actually give a shit about me never want me to do something if it means it's going to stress me out. And they might say that, but then seeing the level of disappointment or enthusiasm, like recently I told 2 people I wouldn't do something for them, that I wouldn't be able to. One of them was like, they both said, hey, if you can't do it, no big deal. One of them was like, aw, dang, that's too bad. I was really hoping you could do it. Oh, well, I understand. It's kind of like they were just soured and let down and disappointed. And the other person was like, that's okay, man. Hey, like, I'm super excited that you're doing other things, you know?
How exciting.
Hello, Say. What's up, dog? Good to see you, Say. Good morning, my friend. How is stream? What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Welcome in, Say. Welcome in. Hello. Guys, if you aren't following Say, please go follow Say. Say's amazing. What's up, KGV? Good to see you. What's going on? QVAC, good to see all of y'all guys in here. We were just talking about prioritizing things as an artist and just getting in the morning groove. So, well, I'm just trying to catch up in chat as well. Yeah, but sorry, finish my thought. So 2 people basically, they both said like, hey, don't worry about it if you can't do this project. One was like disappointed and soured. The other was like, hey man, that's awesome that you're doing other stuff and you're so busy. I'm super happy for you. And I was like, aha, you know, aha. Very telling, you know. I was also always move the big monster in between initiative counts to simulate the thing is charging around the battlefield. That's a great idea to put a movement initiative in there. I can't afford 5 guys, Daria. Come on. Did you already turn Ella's character into a VTuber model for her? Not yet. No. That's a longer term thing. Not going for that crowd, so whatever, I guess. No, it's fair. Yep. legitimate, Thorkin. If you're just abandoning that side of the D&D cluster, then that is probably probably decent. Trying to figure out the time differences. Morning really threw me off. Well, it is clearly bright as day out, and in the current sort of bigger side of the streaming sphere, which is NA, I'm surprised that that's a throw. Okay, sure, yeah. Well, it is morning here. The stream is good. We were working on the succubus painting. Damn, bro, how close are you to finishing that? Say, I'm excited. Hope you had a good weekend. I did. I had a really good weekend. Say, I went out and I played Pokemon Go with Ella. We went out for 2 days in a row, which is awesome. Because there was a big Pokemon Go event this weekend. So we had 2 days of going to the mall, and we went to 2 different malls and got a bunch of errands done, and then just walked around and took a stroll. You know, we took Yuna with us, and it was nice. It was nice. I'm trying to take time like that, not be at home, to not be invested in whatever I'm doing, work or whatever, not to be playing a video game, not to be doing bullshit, and just go out and do stuff. So there's ever an excuse to go out for a Pokemon Go event, we go to the mall, walk around, maybe eat something there, whatever, and just chill. I'm trying to embrace that as much as I can. So I had a lovely weekend, thank you. And then I came home and worked my ass off. So yeah, good. Got a lot done, and you know, and had a good weekend. You're off this week so I can join streams? Excellent. We'll be excited to have you, Steel. I will be off on Friday, though. So this week I have to leave early. I have to leave for Ren Fair after stream on Thursday. And then I'll be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, I'll be there. And then Monday, I won't be home. I won't be streaming because I won't be home Monday. We're staying an extra day in Edmonton because Ren Fair gets out a little bit late. And we're like, nah, fuck it. You know? Good to see you, Lydia. What's up, dude? Some of the things go fast, others slowly, always trying new things. We painted wing for 2 hours. That's good. That's good. Which reaction do you prefer? I suppose, so Guapo, I am okay if people are disappointed, but if there is a subtle communication through the nuance of their language that implies that they are more disappointed in the fact that they aren't getting what they wanted, but they aren't actually like, if there's a subtle like kind of pang of guilt that I feel from their response or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, how much do they actually basically it's the test, Guapo. Even if someone's disappointed, it doesn't matter, because they can be disappointed 100%, but it's how much did they mean it when they said, hey, if you can't do this, I understand. And I can't tell you the exact way, the exact reaction, the exact way that sounds, but it's entirely subjective. What is my perception of their words? Did they mean it when they said, hey, if you can't do this, no big deal? And if I get the sense that they actually meant it, then that's totally fine. But if I get the sense that they actually just wanted what they wanted out of me, and they're just saying, they're like, hey man, if you can't do it, it's totally fine, just to be nice and like be performatively concerned for my time, then I'm kind of over that shit, right? So, you got family visiting for your birthday? Dude, that's awesome, bro. You got the fam coming into town, a giant party with the whole crew? Hope it's a good one, Jacob. I hope it's a good one. Hope you have a good birthday this week, too. Also, goddamn Apple Pencil. Have a request due in 12 hours. Get another Apple Pencil. Always have backup tools. I have an extra Cintiq pen still in the weird cigar looking tube thing, and it's an important thing for artists. So go Amazon Prime that extra Apple Pencil right the fuck now, Buns. I believe in you. Can you please give a shout out to my mom's friend's YouTube channel? No, the problem is, Lydia, so many people ask me to do stuff like that if you start saying it's okay for one person, then everybody jumps on board. Right? It's the reason why there's a no self promo rule in Discord or in Stream or whatever, where when one person like thinks like, hey man, can like, they go to a big streamer, not a big streamer, but they go to a big stream, like a real stream, like somebody has thousands of viewers, and they're like, hey, can you like check out my thing or whatever? Can you shout out my channel, my friend's channel, my this or that or whatever? And the streamer's like, oh yeah, sure, rad, let's all go follow like so-and-so's channel or whatever. The problem is, then that snowballs, and then 6 people do it, and then 7, then 8, 9, 10, and then suddenly you have this weird meta, and everyone's just kind of like, oh god. So there's a general etiquette of not sort of engaging in that on the streamer side, not asking for it on the viewer side, because it gets out of hand way too fast. Obviously it seems innocent because you're like, well, you know, I never hear Evan shouting any of the channels out or whatever, unless obviously someone raids me. The problem is that it just becomes like, it becomes a weird thing and everybody hates it. So you got to kind of like either allow it or not. And yeah, that's the reasoning. That's why you never see me doing it. My Out and Play ass doesn't have the funds. Aren't you working on sketches that are due? Or is this a school thing that's due, I guess, then? So I suppose that changes it. Yes, if you're in school, do your best. If these are paid for requests, then oof, time to pro up, I guess, you know. But I do hope you find your Apple Pencil. My dog's girlfriend's owner's cat's favorite toy has on Instagram. Damn, mine's too. Wait, it's the same one. Oh shit. As if a catch-all self-promo channel on my Discord. I don't have a self-promo channel on my Discord anymore because it got cringe and annoying and lame. It got cringe and annoying and lame and weird, and also attracted people that I didn't want in the community that just thought they could get something out of me by marketing to my community. So I'm actually super against self-promo channels. I know that a lot of Discords and a lot of streamers disagree with me on this, but I've never seen a self-promo channel that didn't make almost everyone you ask wince about it. Not that I'm saying anyone should change it. Obviously, some people in their communities are different. Like Miniful's community, for instance, might be one of the few that can like handle that and be good and be, you know, make it. But I had it for a while because I thought I'd try and see what it could, you know, if it would be fun to see like where other people are live and who's the streamer in the guild and whatnot. And it got spammy and weird and cringe, and people did not know how to shout out whatever the project was with grace. And I just found myself and other people just rolling their eyes too much. So I was like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. No more. So yeah, it's hard, right? It's really hard because you don't know how to balance it necessarily. There's not really a right way of doing it. But yeah, personally for me, I found the self-promo channel just not really working, unfortunately. It's a request equals not getting paid for. Oh, so it's just wait, so if you're not getting paid for it, then why is it due in 12 hours? You agreed to a due date for something that you weren't getting paid for? Wait, what? I'm so confused what this project is. Well, regardless, I do hope you find your pencil though and get it done on time because yeah, the crunch is real, isn't it? He's looking at me during that entire conversation. No, I'm thinking about some very specific names, and a lot of those people you wouldn't know if I named them out right now because they stopped coming around to my stream when they realized they couldn't get what they wanted out of me. So now everything scales well. Yeah, I suppose this was when I was a very small streamer and it didn't work. You know, obviously I'm still a microscopic nobody on Twitch, but even when I was like a quarter the size of a streamer with a quarter of the following, quarter of the whatever, you know, it still didn't work out. It got very spammy and very weird and very kind of, I don't know, man. It was just weird, right? It was just weird, bro. Getting doormatted for 50 times in my art career. I don't want to talk about it. All right. I just wish you luck then. I wish you luck. Extend all the artist love and support to you, Buns, and I hope you get it done. That's all I'll do is encourage then. Ask not what your Evan can do for you, ask what you can do for your Evan. Is that the phrase now, Atari? Holy, I had no idea. Imagine someday the channel will have to be deleted. I don't expect it to last. Sure, yeah, I mean that's the thing, you know. I wish there was a way to sort of build more of that kind of into the community, but it's just very difficult to manage to run. But yeah, so we got to do a bunch of arts this week. We got some stuff to prep for Ren Fair. I feel like I need a character. I didn't realize this at Ren Fair, but everybody had character at Ren Fair, you know? Like I had multiple people say to me, hello to you, good sir. Greet me in your character, please. And they'd extend their hand out. And you're like, the fuck? I said to one person, I was like, oh, I'm not LARPing. I'm like, oh, I'm not LARPing it, but it's Ren Fair. I'm like, but didn't you just say greet me in your character? Isn't that role play? Aren't we like live in the flesh and in action, not in text? Or what? Wait, what? How? So apparently this is a common thing, right? Ren Fairs will LARP without calling themselves LARPers. So I need a character this week. So we got to maybe do some stuff, do some art, do some world building or whatever, you know. So I gotta get some accessories too. Fox said that she'd help me find an outfit, not just Amazon basics crap, but some other things. So this week's gonna be a bit of a big week for getting like a bunch of different things done. We got some dragons to draw, we got some character designs to do, we got some fan art to finish. It's gonna be a good one. But today I think we're gonna jump into some of our designs for our roguish modern punk hacker goth cowboy bard rogue type for the trio that we're working on for the big project. I only do one Ren Fair and plenty of costumes everywhere, but that'd be really weird. Really? Have you never been like asked to greet your summoning or yourself in character or whatever? Is that, wait, really? This happened to me a couple times, honestly. At Strathmore Ren Fair. You know, maybe there's a LARP event there or something like that. I don't know. Isn't Emblood the artist and performer a character? You'd think so, Jacob, but nay, not so. McChobbies, thank you for the follow. What's up, dude? Found your YouTube and made my way here. Oh, damn! Welcome over. That I'm honored that you found the YouTube, and I hope you enjoy your stay at the stream. But that's awesome, dude. That's actually really cool. I don't get a lot of people that find me from YouTube and pop over to Twitch, so you are most welcome here, oh honored YouTube viewer. But it's good to have you, McChobbies. Kind of sounds like a leathery identity crisis. Love it though. Yeah, maybe I should have been more wary. Ella should just be a Valkyrie. She should be at this point in time. You know, she's tall enough, and I don't know. She's got like a cool flower crown type thing this time, and she wants to get little metal elf ear tip thingies because I don't know. She just wants to be a fucking pretty elven maiden this Ren Fair. Don't ask me, man. Don't ask me. But I think I need a character, you know. I need like a merchant or something. Like a lot of people at Ren Fair, I noticed they gave you things. Like this is a convention thing that I didn't know was a thing, but people give you little like knickknacks, trinkets, and like crap. And people would hand me, they'd be like, stick of your hand. Stick of your hand. And they'd be like, what? No. What? No. What the fuck? Like, no, I want to give you something. I'm like, oh, okay. And they'd like give me a little like rubber duck, like a tiny rubber duck or a little plastic like alien or something. I'm like, oh, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. What? And I just like, it happened to me the first time at the first convention. I put it down, like, what the fuck was that? And then it happened like more and more times. I was like, what is this weird tradition? But apparently it's a big convention tradition. It's also a big Ren Fair tradition. A lot of people would give you like little coins or trinkets or something. I had one guy come by and be like, hey, you support the use of thieves' cant in taverns? And I was like, yes, I do. He said, good. Then if any of the town guards asked if you see me, you didn't see me. And he handed me a little gold coin. And I was like, gotcha. So maybe I need like little knickknacks or trinkets or gold coins or something I can hand people out. You know, somebody asked me to introduce myself in character or whatever, or something like that, or they come up and they introduce themselves in character. Because people would do that. They'd be like, they'd come up unprompted and be like, my name is Gwendala, the fairy princess of the garden of who asked. And I'm like, oh, lovely to meet you. How are you enjoying the festivities today? And they just sit there in one-sided RP with me while I'm just awkwardly absorbing it. So I think this time I need to have something, you know, to respond with or whatever. So maybe we should make a character. I found your YouTube and just so happened to come in on a cat girl. Oh, really? You have? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. I was definitely drawing. Yeah, now I remember what I was drawing when you popped in, Kiki. So, They've been to actual Ren Fair, just one afternoon event here in town. Damn, wait, do they not have like a billion out there? Because I thought that Eastern Canada had like a bunch, a whole like cluster of them, like one every other weekend or something, you know? There are coins when? Well, there's a company called Campaign Coins that makes really good metal, like minted proper coins, and I actually have some. They're really nice. And so whenever the Kickstarter happens or I get enough funding that I can make a special edition version of an adventure that comes with coins that you can give your players, that's when. So there you go, but you didn't think you'd get a real answer. Good morning, Ernesto. Happy Monday to you too, my friend. Not shame, but social anxiety fears the people who come up to strangers already RPing. Oh yeah, you just don't want to be RP'd with or RP'd at. I feel like I was getting RP'd at, not with, you know. There was no consensual RP. I just got thrown into it. Make little cards claiming to be a cleric taking a vow of silence for a religious festival. Good excuse not be too talkative. Ooh, I like that actually. That's really good. Yeah, that's kind of a great idea. Wait, hold up. you know, and then I just kind of shrug at them and walk away. Interesting. I kind of like that, actually. Well, something like that. I need to figure out some little character thing. I won't have much in the way of like character accessories or garb. All I have are 2 pairs of green pants and 3 long black shirts. So yep, I don't exactly have no armor, no diadems, and maybe I'll get some stuff at Ren Fair. Maybe I'll they always have vendors at Ren Fair for Ren Fairy kind of shit, right? Maybe I'll find something there. I'll be inspired to a character by finding some overpriced Amazon resold stuff from some vendor there, which seems to be the majority of it. There were a couple people that handmade some things here and there, but for the most part at the Ren Fair, at Strathmore Ren Fair, a lot of the Ren Fairy type garb and things like that were, you know, mass produced stuff. Basically the same things you get on Amazon, ordered off of Temu or something like that, and then just, I don't know, man, resold or some shit. So maybe I'll find some inspiration there. I do want to eventually get something custom made for myself. If the Ren Fair is something that Elle and I do, like maybe a custom made vest, and then I can like kind of do some Eldara-y things and make myself into a younger version of Endrick Avalon, you know, that could be kind of cool. If I could go play my character Endrick, you know, that could be kind of rad though. Maybe we'll see for next year, because next year I should be finished my fitness and weight loss target goals next summer, maybe at the end of the summer, but certainly not for Ren Fairs this year. And then I can have something custom made, maybe, you know, that'd be kind of cool. Can't draw, but I love to 3D print and have a Mandalorian costume for my charity events, but I love making armor and small give out items with my printer. That's cool. Yeah, maybe I could like use Ella's 3D printer and model some stuff and do some like, you know, I can model some armor and then, or little like accessories, like maybe some of the shoulder kind of pad things on like some of these characters that I'm designing, and become a little cosplayer of some sort and some variety. That could be an interesting jaunt or whatever. Forgive my silence, kind stranger. My deific order requests quiet contemplation at this time of year. I feel I cannot reply, but feel free to contemplate the fates with me. Yeah, and then I could just meditate with them and just sit in a circle with a bunch of nerds with my eyes closed. You know, the no phone zone. Ooh, that'd be a hot take there, right? Yeah, work for a monk, cleric, or druid. Good point, actually. Well, there's this Ren Fair, and then there's one more. There's the Vegreville Ren Fair, and then we've got Strathmore towards the end of the summer, and then we've got the last event will be at Edmonton Expo in September. So I got 3 events, and I want to have the adventure ready for Edmonton Expo. So I got to release, I think probably this week or next, I'm going to release the updated version with the maps and stuff. And then maybe for the end of the year, I'll have all of the stuff for Eldara related things to be able to maybe tell a bit more of a story or whatever. But I don't know, man. All right, so we got to draw a rogue today. So we got a couple of designs here, a couple of bases, a couple things taken from, hold on, I got notes here. I got notes. Option 5, shoulder, clothes, scraps and clothing. Okay, we're going to do a brand new base, all right? For some of this, we're gonna do some shit. We're gonna do some design work on our boy Locke. We got some stuff for Quincy, got some stuff for Crystal, you know, and then I think it's time to do some stuff for our boy Locke, our Art Deco rogue, who's a pretty cool guy. I like him. I like this character quite a bit. I do think that ooh, wait, where's my anatomy? That's not it. What the hell? Uh-oh. Where's our anatomy sketch thingy? Shit. Do we just need to... might need to rebuild or use one as a existing one as a base. You know what? That's okay. I don't mind, because I'm a real artist and I can do things. That's what I decided. We can use this as a base. All right, so rogue armor and rogue outfit design is gonna be pretty difficult. All right, rogues are not an easy class to design for, because so much is apparent and obvious. People have such a strong idea of what their rouge should look like that I find sometimes we get a little samey, if you know what I mean. We've seen a couple of similar designs here and there. I don't want to accuse anyone of being boring and derivative, but I do think that maybe rogues are one of the classes that we could expand a little bit on. You know, man, we could get a little bit of maybe of a new idea built for them and see something kind of interesting coming out of them. But thanks to Lurk Brooklyn, appreciate it. Wish me luck, brother. I'm braving the wilds of Costco. Oh, Jesus. Costco. Why would you ever do that, man? That seems like a terrible mistake. I could be wrong, though, but that seems like an awful mistake. Is my anatomy layer not straight? I think it's not straight. Oh, fuck. Let me try and grab one from Quincy, then. All right, Quincy, where's your anatomy layer? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. See? I knew it could always trust me. I've never let me down. Well, except for that time, we're not gonna worry about that. Yeah, we're not gonna. Oops. Did I not select it? I think I didn't actually select it. What in the fuck? Bro, my Photoshop's acting up on me. Our Photoshop's on its worst behavior right now. There might be some gremlins in the system. Okay. We got there in the end. Had to do it the long way, but that's no big deal. No biggie. All right. Fine. Fair enough. Okay, there we go. So, we're going to do a couple designs for Locke, then we're going to draw some Dagrons later. And hopefully have some fun with that, man. There we go. But yeah, I do want to have some dragons and some other things ready for the future events, because we have got, all right, we've got 2 months. 2 months for Edmonton Expo. Oh no, 3, sorry. Yeah, 3. And I think that I want to have, maybe if I can, a couple of Dagrons ready for the good people. Because there's something about nerds that play D&D and dragons. Now, if you can figure out what the love and the association is, I would love to know. But I have no clue. I can't imagine why a bunch of D&D playing nerds would love Art of Dragons. And I will oblige, because this year I have a goal before the end of the year. And that is to reinstate myself as a painter. Okay? The whole internet, all of them, every last one of them, is of the unfortunate assumption that I can't paint anymore. And so it's time for me to wake up, stretch my long legs, and as Christopher Walken said, run like the wind, and tear the shit up out of everybody. Remind them who the goddamn king of the jungle is. Wait, this is just a walking movie.
He's
damn
going
it.
to be painting Genshin by the end of summer.
You think so? Wait, come on, Genshin. Bro, they can't pay me enough to paint Genshin. Actually, maybe they could. Wait, everyone has their price. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh god. They have a sense of humor, don't they, Aduria? They would totally make me do that, wouldn't they? God damn, bro. Alright, gotta be careful then. Gotta be careful. Okay. I can't let them ruin my career that easily. But thanks to 100 bits, man. I'm gonna use the 100 bits to go and get some art lessons in painting, and maybe I'll figure out how to do that and not have to paint Genshin to get attention. Could you imagine me painting Genshin? What if I get thousands and thousands of people following me on Twitter for my Genshin artwork, and then I flashbang surprise D&D them? What if that's the play? Ha! You thought I was gonna draw pretty anime girls. Here's a dragon. That'd actually be a good schemaz. I'm willing at this point in time to basically sync my Twitter for memes, so... So don't think I won't, man. Don't fucking think I won't. I would absolutely sync my Twitter for memes. After 5 years of being on that site, I've realized that the best way to utilize a text-based social media is just to shitpost. Just never take anything seriously. Always and only ever shitpost. Become exceptional at shitposting, that is. New meta just dropped for farming followers? Wait, did it just drop? Oh no. Am I that far behind? Fuck, man. Why do I always miss out on the good trends early? Remember, no artist truly becomes successful by following a trend. So we have to make a new trend for a new meta for artists. Instead of Genshin fan art, we're gonna do Honkai Star Rail fan art. Is that the other gacha game people lose their money on? Is that? What's up, Puma? Yeah, I don't know, Conk. Maybe it is, bro. And smash the pretty enemy girls as well as the dragons. So, okay, all right. Well, you know, I see. All right. I'm glad we learned something new today, Kiki. Okay. All right. Well, boys, we have new information. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with it, but we have collected some market research data officially. Yep. That's what the internet wants. That's what we'll give it, I guess. Because the internet is its own beast. It's gonna do what it wants. All right. We can't control it. We can only water bend the chaos from it. Guide it towards the productivity. So I won't get lost in the sauce if it's not doable. All right. Okay. One of these sleeves is going to be covered by a poncho, so we're not going to worry about it being too symmetrical or whatever. We're just going to kind of do our thing here. And hopefully it works out. So you have to say would during questionable times. Do you? I don't know if you have to, though, right? All right, Seal, enjoy your errands. Take care, my friend. Or consider Cookie Run Kingdom fan art. What is Cookie Run Kingdom? That fan was always thirsting for new artists so you'd be able to farm easily. What? Wait, what? What is this shit? This is a new meta to me. I'm not even sure what that is. You could also be making that up. You could have absolutely just made that shit up and I wouldn't know. We didn't really talk about gloves, did we? Let's try it for a couple of different ones. Another gacha game. Oh, okay. What is, man? What is it with gacha games? Like, what? God, I'm so confused by gacha games. How did the gacha game solidify? How did it, like, encrust itself? You know? I find the gacha gaming scene so very interesting to study. Because I don't understand it necessarily. I think I might understand it, but I think that it's one of those things that it seems too obvious. It seems far too obvious for the complex nuances of what actually happened in the gacha scene, you know? Had discussion before on stream. I think it's just gambling. Gambling is addictive. No, there's a lot of gambling though, right? There's a lot of games that are gamba. Okay, gambling is like, right? But like, gambling is not necessarily all there is to it, right? Like I could create a Gamba system for bits where you cheer 100 bits and then I might approve of you and your life decisions. And it wouldn't be compelling enough that people would be cheering tens of thousands of bits, right? There's something about the anime trash waifu side of things that changed it. And like I said, it's not obvious because I think that the issue is that people were so negative and against any sort of gambling mechanics in their games that I almost feel like, and I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I have this theory that the gacha community actually formed out of a non-gaming community. That the gacha gamers weren't actually gamers prior. That they were like just anime fans or whatever, you know? And it didn't actually... Nothing actually came about of it in the gaming side of things. It just all came from the anime side. What's up, Nick? Again with lower stakes? Maybe. Google says gacha is a gaming... Oh, yeah, oh shit, Quincy, what's up, dog? Gacha's gaming mechanic origins from Japan's gachapon vending machines. Yeah, that's where the term gacha comes from. I'm a gacha. When it comes to gachapons, I'm a bit of a gacha sucker. With the contents being randomized purchase, the term gacha is a shortened version of gachapons. The concept was later adapted into video games, particularly mobile games, where the players spent in-game currency or real money to obtain virtual items. Interesting, but where do the tolerance come from, Quincy? That's my question. Where do the gacha the tolerance for microtransactions, like where do the militant anger, the righteous fury against microtransactions and loot boxes go? And suddenly people were okay with gacha. Because I understand the pull of gachapon. All right, there was this place. All right, there was this place in Akiba called the Gundam Cafe. All right. It had the big Gundam logo, and out front the Gundam Cafe doors, they had a number of gachapon machines for Gundam gachapons, and they were 200 yen each. And I spent, I think, about $50 US to try and get one gacha. And then what I did is I came home and I gave the other gachas to friends as souvenirs, so it all worked out. But I get the pull. Gachapon and the pull of gachapon is strong. I understand that. My question more revolves around, how did gamers tolerate a company saying, in order to get the character you want, you're gonna have to spend several $100s to get her? You know, that's the thing I'm so curious about, is where the resistance went. You know, Lamplady, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Because it's used on mobile app games, and mobile games do much better in Asia. You know, so that's actually really interesting. The solidification or the tolerance or willingness to accept pay to win. We know that for the last probably 15 years, pay to win has been an acceptable and even preferred form of gaming in the Korean and Chinese market. The Japanese market hasn't tolerated pay to win until gacha came out. And then the Japanese market instantly adapted and accepted the pay to win model. And so I wonder if the developers then just sort of like presented that to the West and said, it's the way it is, take it or leave it, loser. You know? Cupcake you drew for me is officially on World Anvil and Stream Topics? What? Oh, yeah, I don't remember a Cupcake. All right, fuck, let's check it out then. Okay, cool. That probably is a request sketch, right?
Oh my.
Hello, Mel.
God.
What's up, dog?
It is the big boss himself.
Yo, what's up,
How
dude?
you doing, Evan?
I'm chilling, bro.
Blahart.
Hope your weekend was good. Hope your retreat off into the woods was productive for your arcane arts and ways. Where the resistance went, I think it's because because there's a thrill in the chase. Yeah, maybe like the loot box gambling wasn't compelling enough. So maybe the thing is that people always would have tolerated the gambling mechanics in their games. It's just the loot box wasn't compelling enough. You know? I don't want to say part of it's to do with desperation, you know, but how much of an impact of gacha is the application of gacha versus the subject of gacha as well? Like, how much would, if you took the same application of gacha, of modern gacha games, and you applied it to like sort of loot boxes for Overwatch back in 2015 or whatever, would people have been as resentful? If there was like sort of that kind of, like Quincy said, thrill in the chase and the hunt. Or if you applied the sort of generic kind of not very well thought out loot box model people rebelled against, but instead you gave people anime girls, would that have been enough to change it? Right? They don't have a girlfriend foil, so they get to spend their money on. I mean, anecdotally, I know a lot of gacha players that you'd think would fit into that norm that are actually, you know, they're just chilling, bro. In functioning relationships and everything, still enjoy the gacha system. So maybe that's just anecdotal. I don't know. There's a request from 2022. Ah, I see. Yeah, there's basically no shot that I'd remember that shit then. Absolutely zero chance, unfortunately. Well, I'm glad you're getting some use out of it, though. That's awesome, bro. That is sick. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, man. Maybe, maybe that's all it was required is the gacha scene to, or the gambling game scene to accept the market for anime girls, and then suddenly you're good. You know, but also like the pursuit of like trading cards, I find, is also one that people kind of like have really fallen into. I wonder if not like, okay, I wonder if like the economic.
Got a lot of reading done actually.
Excellent.
No writing, but good overall. So
excellent.
Far, I am at 26,300.
Fuck yeah, dude. You're getting the journey across Eldara done, Mel. I'm proud of you, bro. That's awesome. Amazing. Are you going for the full 300k? Yeah, hold up. Are you getting after it? Thanks for the bits, Mel. Appreciate it. Do you think that there's in some levels economic incentive with like the economy being tougher, people value gambling more? Is there a correlation? I've heard that correlation in the past. Back in the like 1920s or 30s, and then before that in the 1840s. I don't remember. There are times of economic downturn that were correlated with increased gambling or whatever. Is that a thing? You think is that part of the gacha acceptance and the Pokemon and TCG scene and whatnot? I find it very interesting. What's up, Natasha? So I did Rumi on Friday. Didn't quite finish it. I still haven't finished my Rumi portrait, but I plan on finishing it. Probably maybe we'll take a break from doing some design work today to finish painting our homegirl Rumi. I think I want to paint this piece out though. I still haven't decided if I'm going to try and do portrait sketches in color or not, or if I'm just going to kind of, yeah. Well, I still have to finish the line work, but then once I do, I'm not sure if I'm going to try it in color or if I'm just going to chill and just not bite off too much. You know, even with weird, I was talking this earlier that I've been saying no to almost everything anyone's asked me like in the last couple months. And I've been trying to refocus and trying to like focus on things that I actually care about, that are actually really important to me, and not take on every little thing and be willing to say, hey, that sounds awesome, but unfortunately not. Even to myself,
I wanna
though.
get as far as I can get.
Good.
I'm going to shoot for 300,000 no matter what.
Fuck yeah,
Just
dude.
got to get 273,610 in the next.
It's doable. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Wait, 300,000 steps? Wait, what? I'm pretty sure 300k is 300 kilometers. I'm pretty sure is closer to 400,000 steps. 300,000 kilometers. Oh shit. Oh my god. I had no idea. Holy, I'm over here being fucking casual, bro. 100% in the trading card category, nowhere near as bad as some people I've seen. Yeah, I used to really adore the trading card scene until I was told that I wasn't important enough to be a valued customer of said companies. I remember the day that I decided that I was basically done with a lot of trading cards. Depends on the company, though. I really do like Flesh and Blood, for instance, you know?
Well, my math is lackluster. Well, seems I have more.
You're
work ahead of me.
fine.
Rolling
Nah,
on
you're
the floor
good.
laughing emoji.
You're good. You're good. You could just, you know, just add another Had another couple of well, okay, for me, Mel, I'm 5'10", and 10 kilometers from me personally is 13,000 steps. So if you are shorter than 5'10", you are likely going to have more steps per kilometer. So for me, at what is it, 13,000 kilometers times 30, or 13,000, we're now saying kilometers, steps times, or for 10 kilometers times 30 is, I'll have to do about 390,000 steps this month. Yeah. So for you to get 300 kilometers, it could be more. I don't know. Maybe you're 6'4". Maybe you have a longer stride. I do like the idea of getting 300,000 kilometers. That's a fucking goal. Let's all aspire to that. All right. Anything short of 300,000 kilometers is a failure. I think it's gambling per se. I think it's got more to do with nostalgic serotonin and choosing to spend the small amount of disposable income they have on something that makes them happy. It could be collecting your favorite characters or trying to build a strong playable deck. It makes you feel good to try. I think that's an incredibly optimistic, an incredibly beautiful, and absolutely true reason why some people collect cards, Xenoqueen. I think for the majority, unfortunately, right now in the current era, it's not. I don't think so. I have my hands too deep into the TCG scene, you know? Like, I used to do this for a living, and I still sort of have like a lot of the connections to it. I don't think people do it for that.
Messing with my migraine brain.
Oh man.
On the floor laughing emoji.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Gen Con will definitely let me get a lot of steps in.
True. Convention weekend should be big, so we're gonna bank on that one, you know? The personal reason, but I get a lot of people are way too invested. Yeah, well then I think it is gambling per se, unfortunately. This is why I would, yeah, because I think people do want to, people have this idea that they're the special one, that they're the ones that'll pull the terrestrialized Umbreon, PSA 10, whatever. The way people talk about cards now versus how they talked about cards a year ago, or sorry, not a year ago, 10 years ago, is very different. So value used to be the way that people sort of like talked about a successful booster packs or booster box, more or less. Value was definitely a factor in it, right? Like, oh, I got enough cards that I can trade in the land for the lands I don't want for the shock lands I do want, that kind of thing. So value was an important thing. It is all feast or famine now. If you open a box of Pokemon, you either get $0 or $1,000. Back in the day for Magic and Pokemon, the kind of the healthier card game scene, you got cards that you played with, you got value you could trade back into the stores, you got this kind of stuff. But the grading meta, the chase, the whatever, it's all degenerated now just into profit. It is just straight gambling. It is, people will open a pack and they'll immediately go start like searching to see if they got their money back. And especially you should also look at the people who are very focused on the cents and the pennies as well.
Right now,
you know,
if I am doing 300 kilometers, that
okay,
is 186.41 miles. In total, I would have about
430,000 steps. Mel, I believe in you. Okay, I think you can do it. It's supposed to be a tough goal, but I think you can do it. Personally. All right? I do. Get the fuck after it, bro. I've always been suspicious of cards, gotcha, etc. Has always seemed predatory to me, but I've never experienced the high that comes with it the other people seem to get, so I never stuck. You know what the difference is, Guapo, that I would say? That maybe that, like, here's a bit of information where I see your perspective, and I think it's missing one narrative to understand how people why people think of it a certain way that might be healthier. So, in the current modern day, I don't have anything to say to contradict what you said. I think it's all correct.
Why Canada do math different? Why make brain hurt? Brian.
It's actually not Canada, Mel. It's unfortunately the rest of the world. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Except for that. Wait, did the UK use miles for speed? Wait, shit. Is it? I don't remember. Ah, shit. Wait. Oh no. That's the toxic take on it. Ah, damn it. Ah, shit. Fuck. But yeah, sorry, Guapo. So back in the day, people used to actually play with the cards they got. That's where it wasn't nearly as predatory, is when people actually used the product they opened. That was the difference. The cards were less expensive. The top end of cards wasn't nearly as high, and there wasn't collector's chases. There was like sort of game. The word game piece is the technically correct word, but the game piece word also comes with a bunch of baggage. The other extreme of the game piece, whatever group, has ruined and tainted and soured that term, so I'm kind of reluctant to use it, but it's the technical correct term. The game, every card was a game piece you could use, and people actually played the game. This is back when people played Pro Tours and played Friday Night Magic, and they played EDH, and they played all these different things. They used the cards. So you could go basically buy a box of the new cards, and between what you got and the cards that you could trade for what you wanted, you could basically play this game at the game store for maybe a couple $100 every couple months. And so it was worthwhile. The predatory nature comes from the just rip, you know, like 2% dog shit rare, throw away, you know, and you're just fucking laser focused, ripping everything. Nothing has any usefulness, no uncommons, whatever. Back when Magic was actually a game people played, commons had usefulness. You're like, oh great, I got a playset of this now. Uncommons had a lot of usefulness, and rares always had usefulness, basically, more or less. So that's the issue with it now. Why I think that, like, it does seem predatory to me too now. In the way that's currently done, which is why for my trading cards, I don't ever want to have dead packs, right? Why I'm doing it the way I'm doing, where everything is numbered and serialized and unique, because I agree to have it so that you buy a pack and you don't know if you're not only you don't know what it's supposed to be. The question of intrigue for a booster pack of trading cards is supposed to be, what am I gonna get that's cool? And now the question is, am I going to get something that's cool? Imagine playing a video game like League of Legends where you win 1 out of 50 matches. And that's what it's like now. And back in the day, it used to be you won 5 out of 10 matches, which is more in line with things. So yeah, I don't know. It's really a challenge, you know, to I think do trading cards properly, but I wonder if there's a correlation then with the way that people sort of think about trading cards and video games and gacha, and it's sort of like all kind of like culminating in this kind of like betting atmosphere, and where everyone's just trying to like make money and make profit and get value and get rich, and what's the new Bitcoin and what's the new whatever. And it's never sort of about the it's almost like it's sort of like hijacked the game or the hobby of trading cards in the name of value. Because the old trading cards, people saw what the value could be, so everyone thought like, oh my god, old PSA 10 Charizard is $1 million, which is nowhere near that high anymore. That must mean that if I buy a box of cards and I wait 30 years, that I'm going to have a PSA 10 new Charizard that's also worth $1 million. Obviously, that's not the way it works. Like, if you're a comic book collector, you would have seen what happened in the last maybe 10 years, 6 years, 5 years, let's say since 2020. You'd see what happened in the last 5 years with the Logan Paul Charizards and Pokemon and first edition and boxes and whatnot. If you're a comic book collector, you would have seen what happened in the last 5 years for trading cards and been like, huh, first time, you know? Because the comic book collectors had the same thing. They had the same renaissance in the early 2000s, where people had Superman issue 1 selling for $1 million, and they're like, so I need to go and buy every issue 1 of every comic now, and I need to seal all 18 of them, and suddenly my Superman DC New 52 from 2012 or whatever is in 50 years, that's gonna be worth $1 million. And they quickly learn that's not the way it works, because the print run of things is way too big now. Same thing was true with the cards, where people didn't realize that they made this association and thought, oh, this is the way it's always going to be. Oh, great. Okay, cool. You know? So I pretty much buy singles when building a deck now. Absolutely. Yeah. It's always going to be easier to do that, you know? So it depends. Some people genuinely enjoy the thrill of mystery boxes, granting some are motivated by the secondary market, but I don't think they make the majority. Right. Yeah. You know, and you're right. That group still does exist, but again, that group, I think Quincy has very healthily kind of like written off. They spend $150 on a box of Magic cards and say, I am incinerating this money. It's going away. I'm spending the money to buy the experience of the mystery box, and it's fun, right? That's exactly the healthy mindset to do it. But like you said, I don't think that's the majority either. I think the most people now, they buy the box, and if they don't get a perceived value back for it, they're like, oh man, I wasted my money. I lost money. You're like, what? You just exchanged your money for cardboard. Of course you lost your money, you know? And it's a shame though that to get the coolest cards now, it costs so much. Like check this out. You want to see something abhorrent? You want to see something terrifying? Let me show you this shit. If I wanted to buy a box of the coolest cards for Magic the Gathering, for the Final Fantasy cards, which I love Final Fantasy and I love Magic. Ooh, you better believe this is going to be my set. I love Final Fantasy so much, I named my dog Yuna after Lady High Summoner. We're going to do booster boxes. We're going to scroll down. So to get the coolest cards in the set, I'd have to spend $2,000 for 12 booster packs. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. You want to see something cool? This was $250. I could get the coolest D&D Adventures in Forgotten Realms cards. The coolest ones. 12 packs for $250. This was my cutoff. This was when I got priced out of the market, is when they went above this. All right.
I think one of the other things that gets people riled up is that everyone sees videos on how to make a quick buck from cards,
the culture is absolutely the problem.
And so on.
Yes.
Everyone wants to be the guy to get that lucky break.
And you have a positivity bias because you see it happen, so you assume it's easy. Right, Mel? Mm-hmm. I like how the old generations collected weird, like, glass figurines. A lot of older people just collect things in order to simply have stuff. Yeah, totally. Right? Yep. Yep. So I don't know, man. Like this to me is this is not unreasonable. I find it to be reasonable. I accepted this price point. Regular booster box of Magic cards, $150. Collector's box, $250. And I was always planning on opening this on stream and making an event of it, but I never found the right stream to do it. You know? And like also this was maybe twice a year a set would come out that I'd want. Right? So it's like what? $400 a year for buying all the Magic cards I could want. You know? No biggie. But 2,000, even let's not even look at the Final Fantasy, because this is, I'll admit, this is an outlier. So what are collector's boxes now? 500 for the newest one. This isn't even out. But Edge of Eternities, this isn't a set that's connected to, you know, an IP or anything. This isn't like some massive whatever. It's still 500. The Dragons of Tarkir Dragonstorm, 450. Aether Drift, 300. Hey, $300. Oh wait, this is basically a hated set that everyone thought was a dud product that sucked. So now the worst thing that nobody wants is still more than the product that I can, you know, and anything that people did like is close to that $500 range. So 600. The Assassin's Creed one, I thought it'd be more than that, actually. I thought it'd be more than 550, so 450. Anyway, the psychology of it's very interesting to me, man. Because as I'm thinking about like producing the Eldara trading cards, I'm trying to figure out how to make it not
Absolutely.
suck.
I was
you know?
lucky to get that EV box, and I got a lot of cards that people would call duds.
Sure,
I am
as long as you had
sending
fun
them
though,
off to
right?
Another friend who is going to use the cards to work on painting skills with the art already there.
Yeah, exactly. So the value was you enjoying the experience. It wasn't this idea of you had to return money back. But now people have to invest so much into the trading cards that there's this assumption where if you are going to get anything back from it, it has to be a financially sort of like whatever, you know, smart decision to have purchased the cards, as opposed to just enjoying it for whatever reason. So it makes it very difficult. I do understand that. It makes it very difficult for people to get into the hobby and to try and like have a long-term kind of enjoyment of it. But then again, I mean, like Quincy said that Quincy buys the cards that he wants for his decks. I'm guessing that's, and I could be wrong, Quincy, but I'm guessing that's for Elder Dragon Highlander, or sorry, Commander games. I'm guessing it's not for like standard play. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing it's not for tournament play, not for standard tournament play. Because most people are in the casual scene now, because why would you play in tournaments? Why would you go to a tournament and play an FNM? Oh, it doesn't get you anywhere. There's no points. There's no Pro Tour anymore, really. There's no GPs. There's no, you know, like the scene from when I was in 2013-ish, when I was working at the game store, and then the years before and after, the competitive scene for Magic was so unbelievably healthy. It was fucking awesome, dude.
This in turn
It was amazing.
also makes the hobbies incredibly expensive for people who want to play for fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Showcasing such behavior for the hobby as a whole will deter
Yes.
a lot of people from trying it out.
Which brings in proxying, you know, which is cool, but like, I don't know. Do you guys feel like, are you guys pro proxy or not? And it's, by the way, there's no right or wrong answer. If you say I'm pro proxying, I'll you know, Pirate Bay or me matey, that's fine. If you're like, no, I don't like proxies, I don't like people who play with proxies, that's fine too. There's no wrong answer here. But for me personally, I don't like proxies, and I don't like playing against proxies. I like the actual cards. Now, I'm not gonna like get mad and moralize and refuse placement against proxies, but I like to see the cards themselves. You know what I mean? I like the cards. There's something about it. You know what it's like? I have the perfect analogy for the way I feel about proxying. All right, you guys ready? Here it is. Here's the perfect analogy for how I feel about proxying Magic the Gathering cards or any card game. It is like, you ever play Minecraft and you built your base on survival, and you cut down every tree, and you transported and replanted the dark oak, and you made the trips to get the kind of stone, and you built the furnaces, and you built your base, and at the end of it, you wipe the imaginary sweat off your square forehead, and you say, I made this thing, and you're proud of yourself. And then your friend has a way cooler base that they built on creative mode. Suddenly, the entire server, this first time you're playing on that server and you see in chat, you know, so-and-so has changed game mode to creative, you're like, all right. For me, it just sucks all the meaning out of it. That is the exact way. And by the way, that's anecdotal. It's not correct. I don't think that everyone should feel that way. But for me personally, once I'm playing with proxies, that's the way it feels for me. So which I know is psychotic probably to some people. It's standard for 16 months and sucked so much money out of me. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true too. Also, is that with the standard rotation being as aggressive as it is, they're releasing more sets now, I believe, by one to three extra sets a year than they did back in the competitive era that I was in when I was working there before I got married. So, Avail, what's up, dude? I started my cover art because of you. I'm proud of you, dude. That's awesome. You started painting. Are you doing it on stream, or are you finishing Fire Emblem first and then doing it? I love to see the process, but even if you don't do the process on stream, I'm still excited to see the finished result. That's awesome, bro. That's fucking rad, dude. What do you mean by proxy? So proxying magic cards or proxying cards, Mel, is basically if you have a card and it's a forest and it's got a little tree on it, and then instead of forest, you scratch it out and you write Black Lotus. And then when you play the card, everyone LARPs as if that's a Black Lotus. That's what a proxy is. Now, you can do that to very high degrees. You can get full printed custom anime girl proxies, or you can simply write Black Lotus on a card. That's all forms of proxying is what it is. But basically is pretending one card is a different card. That's what the act of proxying. Which, to be fair, if there's a card that's $400 and you need it for your deck to have fun, I was playing Magic competitively in Modern when Tarmogoyf and that red-green aggro deck was $250. So I get it. Don't get me wrong, all right? It's okay, it can be annoying depending on how many proxies there are. Also, Val, which makes this an all rule zero question. 100%. Yeah. Yep. Whole thing's happening in a lot of hobbies. People see everything as a monetary investment rather than a payment for a good time. Yeah, I mean, it's also happening in like weird places too. Like I know, do any of you guys like know much more? You probably know more than I do, but the book scene. But there's a lot of people that I didn't realize in the sort of the fantasy novel. I don't know if it extends outside of fantasy novels, but in the kind of the reading scene and the reading hobby and like kind of book talk and whatnot, where people are like reading their books but super gently, not because they don't want to break the spine because they like the clean book, but I'm hearing people say like, "Oh, I want to resell this book whenever, at some point in time." And I'm kind of like, what? Is this read the book? Wait, what? Is this a thing now? Has this infiltrated all the hobbies, you think? What's up, Samurai? I've banned myself from MTG and MMOs since I request. Every time I get the urge again, I commission art, find indie old hammer sculpts. Never played proxies, but I hate pay-to-win games like Magic the Gathering now. Really? What's up, Azalea? Hello.
I am not an expert in Magic by any means.
Yes.
But my friends who are have told me about so many changes to rules, cards that won't be allowed anymore, among other things. It sounds like you need to pay a lot of money to keep up, and you could bleed money for this hobby.
Yeah, you can. It depends on the kind of the format that you want to play. But also, don't forget though that Mel, back in the day, tournaments used to be actually if you spent $200 on a standard deck, yeah, if you spent $200 on a standard deck, you could go to tournaments and have fun, and you could win a ton of prizing if you were good. So you'd have a good time regardless, but then you'd also have the chance to like win cards and prizes and shit like that and whatnot. So depending on like that's all kind of gone now. So people don't like tournament prizing for things like EDH or whatever. They prefer tournament prizing for like the sweaty kind of formats like standard and modern, but even then, no one's playing that. I don't even think anyone's playing. The problem with Legacy has turned into what Vintage was 10 years ago. So no one's playing Legacy either, unfortunately. But I don't know, maybe there'll be a new card format or a new way of playing that we don't necessarily know about that'll be a completely new experience for people in the future. It's one of the reasons why for the Eldara cards, I'm not doing a game associated with it. Because I think that the one way that maybe the one place that's kind of doing really interesting card related stuff is actually sports cards, which is interestingly the place that the trading card games are, at least Magic the Gathering for the most part, is taking a lot of their inspiration from. Pokemon too, though, just not with serialization. But they're taking it and kind of like taking kind of the most degen parts of it in some ways and leaving out the good parts. Yeah, it's really funny, but like the entire reason why I am creating the Eldar trading cards this summer is because I still want to do a card thing, and I can't afford fucking, you know, the big games anymore. Shit, wait, fuck. Please print out the correct cover of the card, then glue it or something, not just scratch it out and write in the one you want. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, whatever. I like I said, I don't moralize proxies or whatever. I prefer to have the real card. It's more fun for me when the cards are like the proper cards, because there's like proper art for them and the history and the whatnot behind the cards, and I'm weird like that. I get it's a me thing.
I think to summarize this happening to various hobbies where it wasn't an issue before is everything is becoming a hot commodity. Hobbies are being targeted because it is an easy population to commercialize their hobbies with new items, special editions, and other similar things.
Yeah, like, do you think that that's what I'm sort of wondering with the gacha thing, is if it is, thank you for the bit smell, by the way, I appreciate it. Is the gacha and the general acceptance for gambling mechanics that we didn't have acceptance for 10 years ago, is the general acceptance of it due to economic downturn, where people are willing to accept gambling now more than they were 15 years ago? That's what I wonder. That's what I wonder, man. If you want to read the book once and not buy it, then go to the library. Maybe. I don't know. Does the library keep new releases and shit? I know a lot of stuff's going to be in symmetry, but we're going to be covering the entire left side of our homeboy. So we're going to do our patchwork sort of clothing and stuff right now to try and make it look like there's a lot of asymmetry between, like, you could imagine a cleaner or more put together version of the sleeve on the other side hiding underneath the cape, the cloak, the poncho, whatever. Because listen, the road is tough, and our siblings have to well, they got to get their shit together, bro. You know, they got to get they got to pull their pieces together the best way they can. Collectible card games and gacha are not my jam anymore, but I also don't get fun from gambling either. Kind of wish I could get that casino high I see in others. I don't know. I'm definitely susceptible to it, which is why I have to be careful. I think it's a lot better to be aware of like susceptibilities and temptations than it is to like pretend and LARP like I would be better than that. So I would love to say the same, but I know that I'm absolutely susceptible to the thrill, the chase, the hunt, and the, you know, the promise of value and profit and whatever. Which is why I have to kind of in some ways then disengage, you know? Quebec's trying to kill game stores because they use primary English over French. Oh, really? Interesting. I know stores like Face to Face, which is a Montreal-based company, has they sell both products, so I don't know. Library gets new published books all the time. They are also a business that needs to attract the public. If they don't have it, you can ask for it. Mostly, they'll find it for you. Well, the problem with libraries for me, Jacob, is I don't want to read someone else's grungy fucking book. I don't want to read some book that someone else has been eating their Cheetos over and, I don't know, scratching their butt with and then turning the pages. I am not a person that enjoys communal anything, so not much of a library goer, unfortunately. I'd be much more of a person that would like to the Kindle Unlimited side of things as opposed to the library method. I do think they're valuable institutions that are deserving and mandate protection or whatever. He's 75% secondhand books. Yeah, that's fair. It just doesn't bother some people, right? I get on the weird one. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm the weird one here. I'm just communicating my protest with such libraric interactions, you know?
I think the other factor is you have hobbies with exclusive trips, specials, seminars, and conventions, like Gen Con with me, where it puts this us versus the mentality. You are more of a super fan if you fork over the money as opposed to those who don't.
Interesting. Well, I mean, like the collecting hobbies do have conventions though. Like the collectors conventions are massive. And people go there to try and like trade up or like collect a con and whatever. They do have that. Plus on the play side of things, if the play side of things still existed, they do have like tournaments and stuff. Like I traveled multiple times to various Grand Prix when I was working at the game store. Sometimes on game store business, sometimes on personal business with the convention, but it was always business. I never went to a single Magic related tournament or convention for fun. I always went to buy and sell and sort of perform the task of Magic the Gathering as opposed to, you know what I mean? So maybe it's the same. I don't know. That's a good point though. Yeah, I wonder if like price point for like games and stuff in general is sort of like gonna kind of hit critical mass. Like, how do you guys feel about, what is it, $100 US video games? Is that now how much games are for you guys?
For me
or
and
90,
for my friends at
isn't
Tales, it is a business trip for us.
Yes.
We go for networking, business building, learning, and other types of interactions.
Yeah, so would you still go to Gen Con as a fan though at all, ever? Games are still 60 to 70 here in the US? No, I mean like new games. Like, how much is Mario Kart World in USA? What is it? Oh, is it $80 or $90 that $80? Okay, so you guys now have $80 games in the US. That's the new height. Because for us, it's about $115 for Mario Kart World and for new Switch games. Like, I wonder if people are going to accept the market and the price point. You know, I wonder if they're gonna be okay with that. I don't know, man. I feel like the whole thing is moving towards a subscription model. Like, they're gonna squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and then suddenly Game Pass is gonna be the only place that you can get games, because you're not gonna pay $80 for a new Switch game. You're just gonna buy the Switch like Game Pass, whatever it is. And the sub model, I think, is going to be overall better for them, but I don't know. I don't know if people are going to continue to buy singular games for $90, because certainly the idea of buying a $115 game here is just really not cool. What's up, Danny? What's up, Sabine? Hello, guys.
No, I would go to conventions only if it provides me the intel I need to become a better business person in the TTRPG space.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Thanks for the bits, man. I appreciate it. Work is requiring me to actually work today, so I've only been listening mostly. I like how that's coming along. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. We're entering into our rogue designs this week. We can hopefully get all 3 designs off and approved and whatnot. But yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'd always like to try going to Gen Con or something, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that the games are going to be moving towards that direction, to subscription based, because I just don't think people are going to be okay playing. But then again, apparently Mario Kart World didn't do that well. And like I could be wrong, but I heard I overheard kind of a conversation about it. I haven't checked myself to verify, but supposedly, maybe someone can tell me or not, Mario Kart World disappointed Nintendo in how well they thought it would sell. And I guess people haven't really accepted the $80 price point for America, or the 115 Canadian, you know? Maybe it's not as easy to accept as people had thought, I guess. Right? Maybe I was worried for not. We were all scared that we'd be paying over 100 for games real soon, except for GTA. That's gonna be $100. Just wait. Just you wait. It's gonna be there, man. And we're all nervous for it. And we're all petrified. Oh, God. Priced out of the market, man. Indie game takeover. AA studios become the new AAA. AAA can't survive under these conditions. They just implode. Bet? You think so? What's up, Mr. Skull? I'd like to ask, is a mage with a fireball level 1 allowed in D&D? No. No, that's a level 5 spell. You get level 5, I believe. Fireball. I think it's a level 3 spell. They get level 5. Can I charge in income? Wait, can I charge it in incoming rolls if it lands on a good number? Also, can it be so that fireball misses even if it could be a nat 20? Depends with the DM. The rules for hitting and missing aren't determined. Like, no DM is held to a standard where if they don't want the fireball to hit with a nat 20, if it doesn't exceed the AC, it doesn't hit. It still doesn't hit. If the AC of the beast is 30 and you have +5 and you get a nat 20, it still doesn't hit. Micro Roll's not selling well because the price tag, and even Borderlands 4 is having immense backlash. Right. Also because the Switch 2 will brick itself if anyone is going to mod it. You think that's enough for it? Is people don't want to be, or people are supporting the mod scene? Is that?
Well, hello there.
You know?
What we doing today?
Hey, Senix, what's up, dude?
Still drawing on Quincy's piece?
Doing a couple different things today, my friend. I'm gonna bounce around between some projects, but yeah, thanks for running a bit, Senix. I appreciate it. GTA $100 plus $50 DLC. Right. Yeah. Right. They'll get away with it, right? The way that crowd, like the GTA crowd has a very high overlap with a lot of other franchises like 2K and like Madden, like a lot of sports games, as well as the modern like sort of like Call of Duty and Modern Warfare and those kind of games. Like BRs and sports games, GTA has a very high market overlap with. I don't know why, but apparently it does. And they accept a massive price point for their games, so maybe they will. Maybe they'll just like quietly and calmly accept a $100 price tag and pay for it, you know? Who knows, man? Who knows, bro? I think it's a massive group, but I think it contributes a bit. Yeah, I don't, maybe a bit. I think that if you were to ask me what I think the average, like, the percent population of people who mod their Switchers versus don't, I think it'd be low sub 5 single-digit percent. So I don't think it's statistically, you know, substantial enough or whatever, right? So
I doubt GTA 6 will get away with it.
You don't think so?
Their own fans are rioting over rumors of price tag
are they already?
More than $70 for base game. I doubt it will be accepted if it caps $70 to $80.
Yeah, probably $80. They'll probably go for the $8 title unless they're seeing Mario Kart and saying nope, we're out of. I just got a concept for a tactical magician using purposely missing fireball and making it so it stays in the air, and he could use the next of his turns to add a bit more damage to it. Fireball and the team would try and get the enemy to the fireball. Oh, okay, that's cool. That'd be a pretty weird spell there, but I kind of like it, Mr. Skull. That's cool. That's cool. Thanks for trying bits, Azalea. I appreciate it. Agency on Let's Plays, if the game is worth full price, most of the time I usually buy games on discount as more affordable. Yeah, I can't really afford a lot of new games because I have to buy 2 copies of it. That's the big problem for me. Is that if I buy, like, I really want to play through Space Marine, but if I buy Space Marine, I have to buy 2 copies for LNI. And so you take now a $70 game, or for me a $100 game, and you 2x it. And suddenly now playing Space Marine 2 is not... Like, Space Marine 2 just went on sale, down to 50 or 60, I believe it was. And even then, it's still $120 for us to both play the game. It's like... Yeah, that's tough, man. So, you know, sub $50 games, if it's less than 100 for LNI to play, that's usually pretty doable, I find. That's, like, not bad. I can usually get away with that, so... Not too upset about that one. But yeah, this whole meta of buying new games. I haven't really bought the new game, and the last time I bought the new game, I didn't even buy it, but Gamello bought Monster Hunter for me. when it came out, which is awesome and super nice of him. And he's a phenomenal friend for doing that. And I loved it. But, right? It's like, you know, God damn it. Duria, thank you for the 5 subs. Thank you. Imagine having a hype train without you. What the fuck? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey. Put that towards the Space Marine 2 fun. What the fuck, man? Thanks, dude.
Evan, Jesus. I literally offered to buy Space Marine 2 for you guys.
I know.
And you never accepted my
of course
friend
not.
request K.
Oh, on Steam? Oh, I don't, to be honest, Azalea, thanks for 100 bits, first of all. To be very honest, I have no idea how to do anything with Steam friends. Okay? I added 3 people to my Steam when I first got it. My friend John, my friend Yavuz, and Ella. Okay? I had 3 people on Steam. About 5 years later, I added my friend Earl on Steam. And then around 10 years after that, the mods wanted to add me on Steam, and I had no idea how to do it. And I gave them the wrong ID, and it was a whole thing. So Ella went and got it and figured it out so they could add me. I have no fucking clue how to do anything on Steam when it comes to friends lists. So yeah, that's the toxic part. That's the unfortunate. But thank you for the 5 subs, guys, and thank you for the 100 bits. Thanks for the hype train, guys. I appreciate it. That's really kind of you, man. Thank you, guys. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I appreciate it, man. Used to play Monster Hunter with a friend. Great game if you have company you can play it with. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing Monster Hunter with Ashy and Vixie. It's how I actually met Vixie. We were playing Monster Hunter together, Ashy and Ulner and I, and during the beta, and they were like, hey, can we invite our cool friend Vixie? And I was like, yeah. And I met Vixie. Vixie was super nice when I first met her, and super easygoing and a good...
You also haven't accepted my Discord friend request, K.
Absolutely, I don't accept Discord friend requests. What the fuck possible reason could I ever have for accepting anybody as a friend request on Discord? What possible reason is there to ever have a friend on Discord? Unless we have to, like, do some shit between, like, figuring stuff out? No, I don't even check that shit, dog. I don't even check my Discord friend requests. Dude, holy. Do you know how diseased that section is?
You told me to send you a request, lol.
I don't remember what I could have possibly said to send me a request for. I think I might have said for DM request, but... if it was in the last year, I couldn't imagine having said anything about Discord friend requests, because I never check that shit. I get so many a week that I just can't even look at it.
If you don't accept the Discord friend request,
yes,
how can we send you art scams?
Art scams? What? I'm so confused. Wait, what do you need to be friends on Discord for to send? What can you not send through a regular DM?
It was when you were working on D&D Art.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. What can you not send in regular DMs that you need to be friends on Discord for? Wait, what? Is there a Discord feature I'm unaware of? Oh, scams. I thought it said scans. Oh, Christ. It is fucking scans, not scan. I was like, wait, can you not send a certain file size or whatever? Oh, God. Okay. By the way, is there any good website for online D&D to play it, Mr. Skull? I think Roll20 is probably the one people mostly use, but I personally like Foundry. You want to try either one of those, Mr. Skull? I had to add myself to Evan as Evan's friend on Discord. You absolutely did. Like, my DM requests and friend requests on Discord are absolutely diseased. I don't ever check that shit. I don't check that shit for almost any reason, bro. It is monstrous over there. You gotta be super careful with that shit, because, oh boy. If we're talking about time burgling. Okay, which one did we like? We like that with the asymmetry. Let's try a bit of a mixture for this one, okay? And try some aggregates here and see if we can build some aggregates that work and look decent, I guess. And probably doesn't even know we're Discord friends. I absolutely don't. No, seriously, what do you need to be friends for on So the only thing that I am aware of that you need to be friends on Discord for is to be added to group calls. And I can't think of a single reason why in a non-professional setting I'd ever want to be added to a group DM. Is there another reason for that? Like, is there some features that you don't have access to? Or am I unaware of how Discord fucking works? I don't know, man. I could be missing something big with that, but I don't think there's anything to be missed, I guess. I'm honestly thinking about just like dividing my Discord into two. The advice I got from Dungeon Dad is to never have your like community facing Discord, the one that people who are friends of yours message you on. And I do that currently. And he was like, ooh, yeah, that's not great, man. Yeah, ooh, God. You might be having some problems with that. So maybe I should try and build in the Discord so I don't have just constantly diseased requests from people from TikTok asking me to draw their weird fan art for their favorite anime or some shit. There's features of sharing your activity, games with friends, but I don't know. I don't use it either. Oh, okay. Yeah. If it's just about sharing activity, I don't give a fuck about that. I turn all that off anyway. I don't accept friends requests on games, and I also don't share any activity on Discord or anything, because people got really cringe and annoying when I would like play some World of Warcraft or whatever, and then the next day on stream, like years ago I created a World of Warcraft guild for us during, I think it was Shadowlands. And then I accepted everyone to the guild when we were all playing, we were all chilling. And then on the next day on stream, people would be like, oh, I see you didn't get that much work done because you were on Warcraft last night. And so that's why, you know, because I'd say like, oh yeah, I didn't get this thing finished yesterday, so that's why I'm working on it again today. And he'd be like, but maybe you weren't playing so much World of Warcraft. And the second somebody brought that up, I immediately unfriended every single person on that game from our guild, except for Thorkin and Blaze, I think, and vowed to never have any sort of like shared activity in games or whatever ever again. And so Discord, if that's the only reason it does that you'd want it is to share your activity, that is a hard pass for me.
We aren't Evan's
a
friends.
Hard pass.
The orb likes us though.
Yeah, the orb likes you. All right. No, the orb doesn't like me that much, Moose. So at least it likes one of us. Thanks 100 bits, Moose. I appreciate it. TikTok, right? There's security settings that you can only allow friends to DM you. It helps avoid random strangers that have or creepy mega discords that keep talking to you. Well, I have yeah, I have that basically on where I have to go. You have to go through DM requests. So anyone can DM request me. It goes to a different like pool for me, Sabine. So I have to intentionally check my DM requests once in a while. To make sure that there's nothing about like important stuff. But basically, if it's ever important, if it's ever like an important business thing, like either person will email me or I'll know that they're gonna like we agreed to talk about on Discord or whatever, and you know what I mean. And so I'm like anticipating it, and then it's worthwhile. Then it's fine, you know. But yeah, you can definitely do that kind of shit. Hear me out on this name idea. Benadryl the Wait. Is that actually Benadryl? Benadryl the Tactician. I like it, Mr. Skull. I want to hear about Benadryl's adventures. That's good. That's good shit. I like that. It's a good name. 10 out of 10. Would name again. And they say coming up with character names for D&D is tough. Could you imagine? All you gotta do is open up your cabinet. Okay. We're do some asymmetrical stuff here. Make it look like the jacket was a nice jacket that's been like kind of tattered a little bit and shit kicked and torn up. Just a smidge. A couple buttons replaced, things like that, you know? You shall only use fireballs that only miss. Well, sounds like a great character to me. I don't know. Sounds fine. Not that I'm an expert on naming characters or anything. Seems good. Okay. Do some little buttons here. Little snaps and whatever. We can make this look a little more refined. Like a jacket he stole off some noble or something. You know? Locke would never. Try a couple of different jacket styles and see what works, what looks good. What fits it and what suits it. If I want unique names, I just take Latin words and tweak them a little to make the names, because, well, else am I going to use my seal of biliteracy for in Latin? Probably nothing, except for going to Italy and seeing how many people speak Latin. And making it a YouTube video or some shit, I don't fucking know. Still a cool skill to have, though. You know, speak some ancient-ass languages. I'd like to increase my overall language proficiency for reading, specifically, before I go to Japan next year. So I'll be doing some language practice this year. Tend to have a bias towards names with a V. Like Valerie, Victoria, Veronica, Valseria. That's fun. Cool but completely useless. Well, it's better than having something useless that isn't cool, like an immense amount of knowledge of Star Wars extended universe. Like I had when I was in high school. Being able to quote any movie. Being able to refer to any statistic from any Star Wars thing or whatever. You know? Does not do the first letter either, just has V in it. I realized that when I think of names for my Warlock PC. Oh. Okay. Surprised you noticed the trend there. I don't think too hard about names, to be honest. Like, I don't know. They just sort of happen. I never know how to, like, help when somebody asks for advice on how to think of names for their D&D anything. I don't honestly, I just don't push it. I just don't overthink it. That shit just comes to me when I'm like unburdened from the task, whatever it is. When I am calm, when it is quiet. I'm entirely unburdened from my task. It just happens. Okay, I need a reference here. Need a fabric reference real quick. For some fabric anatomy. Yo. Ooh, okay. We're gonna do a nice thick collar to frame the silhouette. Try a couple of different designs with that. See what we like. See what looks good, you know? Tatter it, shred it a little bit. Maybe it's like his favorite travel cloak. And it's all ripped up and nasty. Crystal keeps telling him to get a new cloak. It doesn't look so ragged, but it's not his cloak, whatever the new cloak is, so he doesn't want it. I don't know, man. I gotta invent headcanon while I'm drawing. I invent so much headcanon for stories and shit when I'm drawing characters. Help me make sense of details. That I never share with the client, because they're like, what? That's not the way it is. Like, look, no, I just had to justify my whatever to myself, so... That's all. I'm not saying it's the way it happened, you know? Some people like it, though. Some people actually ask me, like, why'd you do this? What story did you tell yourself about why this looks that way? I'm like, you really want to know? Occasionally it makes it into the work, right? You driving and drawing? What? I think I missed something there. First D&D character I literally used one example name for a female elf in the player's handbook. I think I did that with names too back in like 3.5 or whatever. I think I did. My first ever like serious D&D character was named Lucius. Lucius. Double two O's. Lucius. And he was a cleric. A cleric of some shit, I don't remember. How does this work? I need some layers here for it to wrap around, some pleats to come out of. I see. Okay, and then it kind of folds over on itself. Oh, I like that.
So Lucius is what spawned your lifelong hatred of all things not paladin.
No, that was a fun character actually. I liked him. He was good. He was a cleric that was a complete joke character. I still have the character sheet for him. I didn't keep a lot of character sheets, but I had a couple. I had him, I had my samurai, I had a couple here and there. But yeah, dude. First character cleric, right? Could you imagine? I heard of a great threat throughout the lands of these. The name of this utterly evil monster is Tylenol the Cleric. Ah, I see. Well, I'm seeing a pattern in your names, Mr. Skull. First unique character lasted 2 sessions.
My
His name is Valenia.
first serious D&D character was named Volk. He was a ranger/deepwood sniper.
Volk?
We were playing 3.5 with
that.
access to some 3.0 classes.
Ah, cool. I dig it. Put our anatomy copy over here real quick. Yeah, man. Back in the ancient elder days, right? If you can imagine. Back in the before time. Back when we all played D&D and Diablo 2. Wait, just me? Damn it. Damn it. Thought it was all of us. Thought it was a collective experience. I was wrong. Rip. One day I want to try D&D at the D&D club at my school as a DM that beats his what the fuck? You should probably take that up with the school or the authorities and not stream chat, Buns. Yeah, you should probably tell your fucking I don't know, dean or whatever, faculty something or another. Probably not best for stream chat. Probably much more of a yeah, moving the fuck on. Holy shit. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying to me? A D&D character the last 2 sessions. Her name was Valenia, and I reused her for Baldur's Gate 3. Then came Vesper. Now we have Arivel. Tell me about Arivel. Tell me of this new character, Sabine. I am always deadly interested in your D&D characters. Okay, invested. I'm emotionally invested. Wait, are you done your campaign for Vesper, or is this a different campaign, an additional campaign? Yeah, hold up. What's the situation here, dog? Cause that's this is big news if I didn't know. Well, actually completely useless, so I doubt anything would come of it. Still, you know. Still, bro. Vesper is still ongoing. Arivel is possible new PC since we think the Strad campaign will likely end by the end of the year. So do you know the setting ahead of time, or are you doing the build the character first, then smash it into the setting like the square brick into the circle hole? What's our strategy here? Do you know what you're playing the next game in, or are you just sort of winging it, I guess? We'll try some patterns and stuff on our little poncho-y cape cloak type thing. I think I want to like kind of tie it up as well here. That, or just super bunch it up, I guess. A ton of pleats and whatnot. It's sort of not cut to form, because we can either cut it to that form or have it just wrapped around. It's not cut to the form, and then we need to have more pleats coming out of it. More folds, more depth to it. We're all building 2-3 PCs each, then we're going to pick a campaign, then we pick the characters that sound the most fun chaotic for the setting. Have you ever built a character after you know what the campaign's all about? Have you ever tried that shit? Because that's the only way I play with anybody. I don't let anybody bring a pre-gen character to my games, ever. It's such like a brand new experience for so many players. It's so fun though. If you never tried it, you should give it a whirl. I call it the Ella Blackwood because Ella is by far the best D&D player I've ever met. And that's one of her, like, if we're trying to unlock the secrets of Ella Blackwood, one of her secrets to being the best D&D player anyone's ever played with is she always builds her character after and somewhat into the campaign. She builds her character like 40 to 50% like after we know what we're playing, and then the other 50% of the character happens in the first like probably 10 to 15 sessions. It's really cool. It's really interesting to watch her character come together like that, you know? Well, I've done after Nerd before. It's normal to do characters before campaign. Yes, the majority of modern D&D players, I would say, always build their character before the campaign. All right, the beer and pretzels casual tabletop, like kitchen table D&D players, they will build their characters after, but it's usually like not very deep, sort of like Grug the axe wielding something, you know, who asked. So members, how exciting! I got my first drawing tablet. It's a Huion without a screen. Let's go, dude. Congratulations. What are you drawing with it? What's the first project you work on, Embers? What's the first project? VTuber stuff or what? You're not a kitchen table DM? No, I'm a serious Pepega DM. Only serious D&D players at my table. I don't do the beer and pretzels, and I don't do the overly dramatic critical role D&D. Very hard for me to find D&D players because of the very specific style of D&D that I play. Now, a good DM always adapts, right? Like, I've played both in the last, couple of years, but I've played both. I find one very taxing, the other not very fulfilling, and I will always adapt to my players and my group and my table. But if I'm playing a long-term D&D campaign on my own, or on my own sort of like time and whatnot, and my own setting and all that kind of stuff, I decided from now on I'm going to try and just like play with players that I match up really well with, and not have this idea that I need to, be the best DM ever, the most. I've been more selfish about and picky about the people I play D&D with recently. It's either there are two types of players: one who plays the adventure, or the other who plays their character. That's interesting. You're gonna get heat if you say that on Reddit though, Atari. Even though you might be right, you still can't say that out loud, otherwise you're gonna get Reddit heat, bro. A few weeks ago, my friend, or my DM offered a refitting of a current characters for another campaign, and I could not do that. Too many mental gymnastics for me to do it. Yeah, that's reasonable. You made the character for the setting, so it's got to kind of fit into that setting. Yeah, I see that being a difficult transition. I don't know. The only character I'm really playing right now, or have played in the last little while, is Endrick for my game with Ashy. I don't know how much longer that game's going to go on, though. I think we said we were going to play, like, early into summer, so I don't know, like... I assume we were, like, wrapping up the main sort of arc pretty quick here, but, we're getting a new character because Ulner's re-rolling again, so... I don't know what to expect, bro. We've had Ulner re-roll twice now. One because of untimely demise, and the other because of untimely boredom. I don't know. I don't actually know why. My friend, I'm going to work on drawing their PNG they stream with, and I haven't drawn in years. It's time to shake off the rust, then. It's time, Embers. I'm excited for you. Time to get after it. Time to get serious. And to show the world what you're made of. Brag about your might and power. To show what's possible. Let's not do a knot here. Let's say players can focus on a character they create if it's not specifically for the campaign. Most people like to do that, though.
You guys took over a keep or something. I was asking Ashy about it. Ulna is changing cause the character she had was nobility, and if she changes, her old character can stay behind and basically set up a perma-base of operations for the party.
Yeah. That's what yeah. Yep. that's what happened. But I mean more. I don't know what it was that prompted Ulner to not want to be a noble Ojo-sama and wanted to play. Because Ulner also talked about some like other combat whatever reasons. So I don't know. Didn't ask too deep. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it last week. Last week's D&D session was kind of crazy. So we didn't get a chance to catch up on things too much. We were in it, and Ashley had us in the pool and fighting for our lives, I guess, within like 2 minutes of us sitting down in our Discord call. So it was pretty gnarly. It was. Thanks for the bits, Azalea. I appreciate that, though. Like, being smart for one-shots? Yeah. Weird question. What kind of Twitch tags would a person on a stream or have on a stream where they're plotting to take over the world and their drones with their drones and robots? Weird part was after session, she stayed at the table and suddenly said, "Oh, I can level up now." She was very excited. I hadn't given her experience points. Oh. She was just there for... Okay. Maybe she just assumed that milestone EXP was a thing? Is that the standard, I guess? I think most people do milestone now. Current plot idea, though, is Arivel, the human noble warlock. Her ancestors made a pact with an archfey. Didn't fulfill his contract, and now the family line is stuck with a living ink mark pact of the tome that passes to the next generation. I'm leaving it open for my DM to decide if she needs to find an artifact, find an NPC, do the good thing, or do the bad thing to fulfill the pact. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Is this your first time playing like a warlock, or what made you want to play her as a warlock? And are you doing a human or an unreasonably attractive tiefling? What are you feeling? Or like, sorry, just human, or I mean, how demonic of a human are we doing? Are we going like down the tiefling road as well, or are we just doing straight up Hylian? What, Hydian? Wait, what's the Final Fantasy 14? I don't remember. Because I know it's for some warlocks, people like to go a little old demony. I kind of dig it. They'll say, I'm not a tiefling, but I do have horns. Right? Or I'm not an elf, but I have pointy ears and I'm purple. Like, what balance of human versus whatever are we doing? For some warlock player and I'm just plain old human, I found out I like to keep track of spells and use them in weird ways. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean that's fair too. If you want to just be the human, no demonic mutations, that's fine as well. That's the spicy way of doing it, the hot take. Did I ever ask you what got into D&D and art? Maybe. I talk about it occasionally. Art is a really boring story though. Art, nothing ever got me into art. I've always been into art. There's never a moment of decision for art. I picked up a pencil at 3 years old and my parents were like, ah, shit. So there was never a conscious decision to do art. There was never you know, I did the thing and got encouragement for doing the thing and loved the thing and was hopelessly screwed for the rest of my life for doing art. So I don't, like, sometimes young artists will ask me like, how do you know if you really want to do art? And for me, it's not even a question. Like, I don't relate people that are like, art's my passion, so I don't want to do it as a job. Like, I can kind of understand. I have a few close friends that have said that more or less, but to me, it's like, I don't really relate to that at all. So nothing ever got me into art. I've always been drawing and sketching everything and anything, which is why people say like, how long have you been doing art for sometimes? And it's like a really difficult question to answer because it's like, how long have I been doing it seriously as a profession? I don't think I've ever been doing, I don't think I've ever taken my art as seriously as I need to achieve the greatness that I yearn for in my career. So I'll tell you guys when I get serious. But D&D was a natural progression for me. My mom played D&D, my grandpa played D&D. My mom read me The Hobbit. My grandpa was talking about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars before I was even like, I was once again, I had no choice. I would never had a chance to be a normal, well-adjusted human. I was always a terminal nerd. So D&D was the natural fit, but I got into D&D I'd like played D&D and stuff with like, you know, a lot younger, but I first started playing a serious campaign when I was in junior high school, when a friend invited me, and more than just like what got me into D&D, what got me into DMing was our DM for that group was two guys, and they took turns, and they were in one grade ahead of us, and they were, you know, the older kids. And they were every negative stereotype of trench coat wearing, fedora tipping, greasy, unwashed nerd that you can possibly like meme over. They were that. They were creepy to the girls in our group. They were weird. They were glasses adjusting, snorting game store nerds. And our entire like younger grade group of friends were like, why are we playing with these losers? I said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. So I started DMing, and that was basically it. So not an interesting story of like D&D saved my life or some shit. I always credited D&D with being the reason why I was a decent like concept development artist, even before I wanted to be a concept artist, because you had to think of everything so visually. But no, it wasn't any. It's not like a cool story of like some big formative moment or whatever. It's just kind of the way things worked out, you know. First time Warlock player and just plain old team and found out. Where was it? Oh yeah, the art was calling. The pencil chose Evan. Yeah. Terminal Nerd is my DM. He was named after Admiral James Kirk, and he grew up watching Star Trek. Yeah, I mean, like I grew up watching Star Trek, the original series, and the Next Generation with my parents and grandparents. We would go over to my grandparents' house probably every other or something weekend for dinner on my mom's side, and they had a TV in the basement, an old school TV. Like if the older kids in the audience like me, you might remember your grandparents having the ancient TVs that had the wooden box around it. So they had that with like a VHS player on top of it, a VCR, and we would watch either an Indiana Jones movie, a Planet of the Apes movie, a Star Trek movie, or a Star Wars movie. My brother and I would watch like 2 of those every single weekend that we go over for. We just have it in the background. So I don't even remember the first time I saw Star Wars, right? Star Wars was just always a part of it. Same thing with like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and Star Trek. I grew up on all of this stuff, on a very well curated diet of fantasy and science fiction. You know, everything from even like regular fiction like James Bond to... No, I never had a choice, man. I was never going to be anything but an absolute degenerate nerd. My mother is an artist, and she was killed by a mysterious high-end collector, so now I create an art hoping to draw him out again so I get my revenge. Well, I do eventually, like, once in a while have my art origin story, but I only tell it about, I have one, Guapo, you might remember it, but I only ever talk about it once every probably 8 to 12 months. You guys only get it out from me, like, out of me randomly, like maybe once a year-ish, where I'll tell the whole story. So, in fact, maybe even me just mentioning that has put it on cooldown. Uh-oh. And no one knows. And no one knows. But yeah, it's not really, I think a lot of people have these dramatic stories of like art changing their life or D&D saving them from something or not, and nope, just always the passion. Always a passion for stories, man. Stories were very impactful for me and helped me through a lot. You want the dramatic side of my origin story? The dramatic side is that when I was very young, I had a bunch of very, very difficult, very scary medical things, hospital stays, surgeries, whatever. And the stories of like heroes and whatnot always helped me through it. I always tried to be like that, you know, to be as centered and at one with the world and calm as a Jedi or brave as Superman or whatever it is, man, you know, or as strong as Bjorn, I think it is, from The Hobbit. No, I mean, that affected me when I was like really, really little, sure, but I don't know if that was the reason why I decided I wanted to tell stories. But I definitely understand the power of stories. People kind of like roll their eyes when I talk about the power of story. And it's one of those things that doesn't really hit or land on stream because I don't think that people are ready for that kind of a depth in conversation of the power of story, the power of myth, the power of metaphor. Sometimes people get lost in the sauce. I'm just trying to like meme about it, but we've talked about it occasionally. You remember I just repeated it? That's not the whole story. What do you mean? What? That's not the fucking... Okay, you piece of shit. You know? Tagwise line with evil. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Good job. Excellent. Sick. Okay. Maybe we'll add that in, Guapo, I don't know. Can expand the lore out a little bit or some shit. I'm gonna try a couple different jacket, vests, armor type things for our boy Locke here. Let me grab a new water real quick. Or at least some ice or something. Okay, well, I'm gone. No revolting. I mean, fuck it. Whatever. I'll be gone on Friday. Get your revolts out now. Box of magic cards. Where'd this come from? I should open it. Wait, that's not how it works. Wait a minute. I didn't write it off my taxes. I can't open it on stream then. Okay. Do some sash style, tattered rags, robes, whatever, belts. Worked on this in layers and see if we can give him a good roguish appeal. Remember all the asymmetry.
You are looking swole. Also,
Ooh,
can't forget to
thanks,
meme,
bro.
so here's some L underscore.
Thanks,
L
man.
Underscore.
Appreciate
L
it, Garthan.
underscore.
Thanks, bro. How you doing, Garthan? Thanks for the Prime for 52 months, Garthan. Thank you for considering me your Prime option this month. I appreciate it. How you doing, Garthan? What's up, man? What's up, dog? How you been? Thank you. I'm trying to look swole. Been going very hard for the last couple weeks. Not missing any gym days. Not missing my 12,000 steps. Eating in a massive deficit. I'm so hangry. Oh boy, you better watch out. I'm so hangry all the time. I'm actually doing pretty good. I was hangry for about a week. Then my body got over it. Everything normalized. So, yep. You don't stay hangry forever. But that first week, man, that's hard to get through, eh? Your body's just mad at you. It's like, where the fuck? Dude, what the? Bro, you need to be eating more. Yeah, I'm trying, man. I see no one got banned for revolt. Okay. Good job, guys. Glad you all stayed safe on this fine afternoon. Ooh, gotta do my stretches. Gotta do my stretches. Been the same time zone as Bizarre Mod? Oh shit. Dude, what are you doing in India? Visiting from some family. That's cool. Are you in like North India or South India? Are you in the big cities or the countryside? What kind of experience in the Great East are you having right now? Is it fun? You there for any holidays or something, or is it just northern half big city? Oh, right on, dude. That's cool. God, it's gotta be hot though. Gotta do stretches. We gotta do stretches. I gotta be really careful this week, because this last weekend, I pushed hard. I pushed way too hard, bro. The forearm, the wrist, the hands, it was all killing me. I'm banned from any video gaming this week. Anytime I'm at my computer, it better be doing work. So I keep the hand clear and easy, feeling good. Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt. Man, I always wanted to go to India. I always want to go see it. I want to go do stuff there. I grew up with a close friend, and so I got to do all the holidays. I got to do Diwali and Holi and whatever. I got to eat the food. I got to complain about I forget, is it the president, prime minister? I got to complain about the politics in India with a group of old men sitting in a circle eating dates. You know, with my friend's dad and his grandparents and his uncles and shit. That was good. Yep. Things have changed so much since I last visited before the COVID pandemic. Oh yeah, really? In that short of a time? Only a couple years? Yeah, world moves fast though, hey? But I really want to go to India on like an art excursion, right? I really want to go on an art, I don't know, focused like trip where I go and I draw and I take photos and I, take time to go sketch in parks and ancient buildings and busy cities and whatever, and just draw the world around me in somewhere. It's so nice to get out of your, not just like out of your town or your country, but your hemisphere, and go somewhere completely different. You get to really see the way the world works, man, Really an eye-opening experience. The first time I was ever in Japan, I was like, I can't believe there's world over here, We get suffocated in our own North American suburbs. And being kind of at the center of cultural relevancy, a lot of people in NA don't feel like they ever need to like venture forth anywhere. When you do, man, when you give yourself a chance to go see the world, very spectacular. Chromacore is live. Our turn to lurking. You just want to say that? Let's go, Thorkin. Let's see your might. Show me your greatness, and I will tell the masses when they scream your name and they ask for your presence. They demand it. They demand your greatness. I will brag and say, I know Thorkin. Before he destroyed the Chromacore. So many beautiful temples and natural places and busy streets and great street food that you and I should avoid due to food poisoning risk. Yes. Listen, I am very particular about food I eat when I'm out anywhere. If I'm not spending like an extravagant amount of food at some place, the only place where I'll eat shit food is Japan. Because shit food in Japan is perfectly safe. You can get the worst, most grungy looking convenience store food in Japan and it is totally fine. You can buy train station standing udon, you're totally fine. But if I'm like anywhere else, like US, Canada, whatever, oh no, I ain't buying cheap ass food anywhere. Definitely enjoy an art excursion. I think so. I want to do more like traveling with the express, I don't know, goal of art. Increasing my what's the word I'm looking for? Scope? Yeah. Increasing the scope of what I can do, what I'm used to, kind of styles I reference. A couple little belts here. Locke has more shit on him. He has more things that he carries. More things at his side. Will I make it to the standouts this year? I don't think I was close previously. Well, you got this, man. Yeah, Chromacore and Art Fight were also things that I was considering doing. I let my friend, my old friend Lack, talk to me about Art Fight in a compelling way. I sort of wanted to. I felt the urge, the pull to do the Art Fight. But I don't know, man. I just, again, it's one of those things that I told myself that I need to say no to more things and write more things off. So it's like any of those challenges, like the summer camp, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Unless it's a challenge that I'm running, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it like anytime. I don't know. In the near future. I gave myself permission to not feel pressured into doing stuff anymore, even though I want to. Make some sacrifices for the things that are actually important, you know what I mean? Instead of sitting here, like, not doing everything as efficiently as I want. And then being mad because I'm behind on some shit or whatever. So I missed a couple weeks of streams. Could you remind me of the walkathon milestones I should aim for? 100, 200, or 300 kilometers is the goal. 1, 2, or 300 kilometers. You can pick whatever one feels best for you. Whatever milestone feels like you are comfortably going to achieve it. I don't want anyone stressed out here, all right? Actually, never mind. If you want to get stressed out about it, stress yourself the fuck out. If you're stressed out about it, you're pushing yourself. That's what I want to see. I want to see people pushing themselves. So stress out about it. Become anxious at the thought of not making your step goal every day. That's what the fuck I want to see. A little good stress never hurt no one. Now the bad stress, ooh, you gotta be careful about that. But the good stress, ooh. Ooh, we chilling with that. It's like my favorite Twitter interaction was somebody who said art should never be stressful. And someone else said, what the fuck's wrong with you? Art should always be stressful. Like, true, right? You get pushed sometimes. You're close to 25k naturally? Alright, that's not bad. Yeah, what do you need? Like 75-ish k per week or something like that? No. Yeah? Wait. Somewhere around there? Art should be stressful? Crazy ass take? Art should be stressful. Art should not... Art should always be stressful. Every period of your art career, you should be embracing some stress. Now, not every second of your art process obviously should be stressful. Otherwise, you won't do it. But no, art, your art, if your art isn't stressful, you're not growing. You're never stressing yourself. Now, some people can't like handle any amount of stress because they stress themselves out way too much in the wrong areas. Are you kidding? Every artist that I know that has made themselves into something great has gone through periods of deep work and stress. Yes, your art should be, if you're pushing, if you're growing, it's like going to the gym. If you're going to the gym and you're never pushing, you're never like getting your heart rate up, you're never like stressing your body out, you're never growing. Your art should be, you should stress about it. You should, that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't know the difference between healthy stress and unhealthy stress. And they get any resistance and any frustration. But like doing a puzzle is stressful. Right? And if you think that the stress is you like pulling your hair out and crying at 3 a.m., that's not the stress I'm talking about. That is not the stress I'm talking about. That is you not handling the stress. That is not okay. We gotta figure some shit out. But no, it should always be a small amount of a light hum of healthy stress. What's up, Charlord? Good to see you, bro. Got inspired by some relatives and went into gym for a core workout. Attaboy. You gonna get swole? You gonna get big? You gonna go on the juice? You gonna start your first cycle? Well, hold on, let's calm down here now. My hobby artist ass is just gonna keep making for funsies? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not really talking about hobbyists when I talk about like general stuff about art. Make sure you always contextualize my opinion or advice on art as somebody who's a professional. I'm not talking about hobbyists. I am not a hobbyist. I'm not talking to hobbyists. I'm not talking about hobbyists when I talk about art, unless I specifically say it's different for hobbyists. If you're a hobbyist, then you do it like this or whatever. You should focus on this fundamental or that thing or this thing or that thing. No, I'm talking about art. I'm talking about art from a development first focused level. Shit, dude, if you're doing it for a hobby, you should do whatever the fuck you want. You should prioritize your enjoyment first and foremost. If you want to do your art for stress release and make it a thing that you do to blow off steam at the end of the day and just draw some shit, bro, don't your ass ever let it become stressful. But if you want to grow, if you ever want to see improvement, you're gonna have to embrace the stresses that it puts on your mind. Doesn't doing puzzles should be a mix of frustration but also brain hurting as you figure out how to fit the pieces. Yes, exactly. That's how progression in art should be. And what's up, Cal? What we're working on today? We're working on a rogue design for it right now. Like, art should not always be stressful for hobbyists. Well, yeah, hobbyists, the thing is, the world of clarification, or sorry, definition of hobbyists is so vast that you can't really talk about it because everyone's experience is different. Like, there's bars you have to jump over to do as a professional, right? That like matter. But if you're a hobbyist, there's no metric. You know, there's no. Now the thing is, a lot of hobbyists want to become good at art as well, because most hobbyists, I think, like, you hear sort of the same lamentations of wanting to be better. At which point in time, okay, well, are you willing to trade off some of your enjoyment and comfort for some of the stresses that come with improvement and growth? And the answer for most people is like, yes, to an extent. And you know, that's when they listen to the sort of the serious artists talk about like sort of their method of progression, because there isn't a whole lot of, it's kind of like when you're training anything, there's not like a whole lot of arcane, strange like secrets in how to train something. We all kind of know the way to get better and to build things and whatnot. It's whether or not you want to go down that path, right? Do you want to go to the gym for fun, just kind of work out and throw some weights around and whatnot? Or do you want to go to the gym to try and, like, you know, be serious about it, like bodybuilding or strongman or whatever? At which point you take whatever amount of the sort of the serious advice you want and you apply it to your hobby and you enjoy the process. The advice on how to get good at art fundamentally doesn't change depending on if it's a hobbyist or a professional. The reason why I ask people if they're a hobbyist or a pro when they are asking for advice on things is because I got to know how much they are willing to tolerate when it comes to pain in order to get better. And that tells you sort of what they're willing to do. So at the end of the day, everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing with what, I mean, getting better at anything, improving anything. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Very few people are ever like really unsure, uncertain on how to improve at something, I think. It's a matter of motivation, encouragement, and direction, you know? Comms or Eldar Rogue? No, this is for the book project I'm working on. Really built a jigsaw puzzle yesterday of Hogwarts Castle. It pissed me off, but I felt great as I figured out how the castle walls fit together and the mountains flowed. There you go. There you go, man. That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear, dude. Oh, hold on. I just remembered something. I need to write myself a note real quick. Crap. I have my little notepad next to me, so whenever I think of something when I'm working, I can like write it down, and then I can like just like flush it from the brain, you know? Really good tactic for trying to stay on task with things. But sometimes something will like hit me in the middle of stream that I need to do after. I don't want to like fret over remembering it or not. Sick. Sick. A lot of people think that they need motivation when they really need discipline. Yeah, the problem is that the discipline is often a resource that you can't really tap too much of it, right? A lot of people talk about like the discipline to sort of like maintain a habit versus the discipline to build a habit. I think that a lot of it is in order to build a new habit that you can maintain with discipline and not like overtax and overstress the part of your brain that's actually able to like force your subconscious to do things. The problem is that sometimes you have to like figure out how to make that work for you. And a lot of the times that's environmental. A lot of times it's environmental. You'll be like, why can't I make art? Let me say, well, what's the problem? Well, I just can't focus. Uh-oh, you can't focus? I can't focus ever on my art. Damn, why not? I don't know, I start making art and then I just don't want to do it and I just like get distracted. I'm like, damn, bro. What's your favorite video game? Fortnite. Well, there's your problem. Your brain doesn't know how to tolerate anything that isn't as stimulating or exciting as that thing. There's often always environmental factors that you can control or change or mix or whatever when it comes to trying to figure out how to, you know, how to improve whatever thing you're trying to like, or your success rate with whatever thing you're trying to stay on task for, or learn, whatever skill. Discipline's great, and the required tool, I agree. Motivation is nice when it's there, but it's not what you can count on. You count on your discipline to keep you on task. But if you're trying to, let's say, like overcome an addiction, you can't discipline your way out of an addiction. If you're trying to overcome bad habits, discipline won't take you there. It'll help you maintain, but it won't let you overcome, I don't think. Bought a bunch of puzzles yard sale this week. That's cool. Yeah, my dad's wife was talking about wanting to do puzzles, or enjoying doing puzzles and stuff, and like trading them around with the fam, like her side of the family. And I was like, damn, I always want to like do puzzles. Now I have like, I could buy a puzzle knowing that I could like give it to that side of the family and they would like trade it around and like use it. Because if I buy a puzzle, I'm not going to ever fucking do it again. The only time I have like the same puzzle that I'll do sometimes is like the Christmas puzzles that Ella and I will bust out one night during the holidays and just like sort of chill and do a light puzzle together. We're trying to cut back on soda. But work pisses me off and I need the caffeine spike to tolerate people to my brain on track. Yeah, this probably, I mean, like, I don't know. Anything to do with food is like very personal and specific to the individual, because I've had to learn how to work with myself from my whole weight loss journey. I don't have discipline to keep me off soda when crap makes me want it. Yeah. Environmental is tough. It's tough. You gotta change a lot of things to actually make it work for you. I was trying to say they don't have a type, but every single character they like is either a himbo or a mad scientist. Damn, that's a wide gap there. All right, shit, crazy. Paragon I found was made in the 1940s. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, trying to build like a good habit for working on your art or whatever is like going to be a very specific thing to each individual. But in general, I think that every artist that I have seen struggle and then get better and like be able to kind of create a good habit, always, there's never an exception. They always have some story of giving up other things that are distractions and unhealthy distractions. Every single one of them. You know, just tough, man. It's really tough. It's tough to do things one way your entire life and then you have to change overnight. I'm really against the idea that people are just condemned to their own inadequacy, though. I don't like the idea of sort of like the predestined kind of talent or not. But the more I see it play out, the more worried I am that it's actually true. I'm gonna see if there's like things that like a good mentor can do or not to help, like, you know, point in direction, motivate, encourage, build good habits. I think people are probably pretty strong if you can give them a little bit of encouragement to do the right thing. You know, wonder if somebody's lacking that, or if it's just like there's something else going on. It's keeping them down, keeping them away from their work, holding them back. Ooh, we're getting a little fancy on our boy Locke here. Okay, just a couple little, you know, old design elements. Not like, you know, in-world fancy, but just like me being design fancy. If I was an artist and had to give up an unhealthy distraction, I would have to cut WoW off after 20 years. Yeah, I did. Yep. That was my unhealthy distraction. It's because I had built too much of my brain put too much value in progression in the video game. So it didn't tolerate the difficulty and challenge that comes with progression with a skill that actually matters. And some people can manage that. A lot of people manage that really well, but I couldn't. And so I had to completely cut myself off of World of Warcraft and other games like that. And only now am I like building it back into my life, and I'm really happy to have some of those things back, but I don't take them seriously like I used to. Not even close. Yeah. I can never take a video game seriously in the same way. I can never let myself. If I ever find a video game so good that I want to throw away my fucking days on it again, I'd have to run away from it like the plague. I would not be able to manage it. Not a chance in hell. I would be screwed, dude. Absolutely screwed. I don't do anything anymore that gives, like, for too long, that gives me a sense of progression. Or a satisfaction like that, like a satisfaction of progression. I don't do that anymore at all. Because I just can't manage it, man. Just can't manage it healthily. Makes more sense than I'd like to admit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty aware of my flaws now. Didn't used to be. Like to think myself as more well-equipped to manage that kind of stuff. Didn't start making progress until I was real with myself, boat. The weakness is there, you know? Work full time, but once I'm home I just play WoW. No wife or kids, I'm super cool with that. Sure, man. Yeah, if you're chilling, if you're vibing, fucking go for it. That's awesome. You're just chilling? Hey, bro. Nothing wrong with that. No, when I talk about things like Warcraft or whatever, I know there's lots of people that can manage it well, or they're like happy there, whatever. That's awesome. I wish I could have not had to learn things the hard way so much, you know? Wish I could have not had to peel myself off the floor after so many decades of playing video game. God, my only weakness now is my stupid hand. Oh my god, I let it rest all weekend and it's still grinding on me right now. Holy god, dude, I gotta do some stretches. A lot of people have a hard time managing online PvP games. I do too. I think the majority of people who play them have a hard time managing them. I just know it's a very personal topic for people, and so, you know. How was Ren Fair? Ren Fair is next weekend, actually, Media Master. Yeah, Ren Fair is, I leave on Thursday, and I'll be there all next weekend in Vegreville. So I'll let you know. I'm kind of nervous because I don't have my full garb, my full outfit together. You know? But I'll let you know. Definitely used to sink way too much time into games, and then one day it just stopped. And I can't even get into games that I know I like. Did it coincide with a big life event, like a change, like a move or something, Guapo? Because there's like a interesting rewiring that happens in the brain when you move somewhere, physically change your location. Your brain like sort of like kind of in some ways like wipes the slate clean of its habits in a lot of ways. And I've heard a lot of people say that like man, I used to be like terminally online, like just like, you know, glued to the news, this or that, whatever. And then I went somewhere and I went on a trip and I just never watched the news again or whatever it was, you know? And I had that happen to me actually once too in Japan, where I used to like watch a lot of like political content and be like mad about stuff all the time. You know, everybody's mad about stuff. I used to watch like a lot of YouTube news channels about like, can you believe this person said that? And I'd be like, oh, I'm so mad. And then I went to Japan and for our honeymoon actually, and I was sitting in our hotel and we had some time to spare, and I was like, oh, I should check up like I should catch up on the news, man, see what I've missed in the last week. And I like got my phone out, and I remember the video was, I forget what channel it was, but the video was like, it started with the words "this is disgusting," and it was something someone said, and I was like, I don't want this, man. I don't want to be fucking mad and just fucking like aghast and just like secondhand. Ugh, I can't believe that this thing was so awful. I was like, oh, fuck that. And I actually unsubscribed from that channel right then and there. And I scrolled up in my YouTube feed. I unsubscribed from like 8 YouTube channels. I'm like, I don't want to watch the news ever again. And then I just didn't. And then I just stopped. And that was like 10 years ago. So I understand like with like physical changes in your location or whatever. You know? Attribute to life stress? Yeah, maybe. Had bad off and on tendonitis in my wrist, Sag. Yeah, it gets there, man. If you're not taking care of your shit, it gets you. You know me, moving countries all the time. For some reason, it's no longer gave me that dopamine or something. Really, it's just sort of a thing that you do. Interesting. Yeah, maybe I gotta go for physio. The physio last time I did it did not really help. It didn't really help. The thing that helped was going to the gym and just holding on to a kettlebell and just letting it stretch my entire like neck, shoulder, all the way down. And maybe I should go. I was at the mall yesterday and I was looking at like weights, like really heavy weights. I held one and I was like, oh god, it's like $120. Maybe I should go buy that kettlebell. They'll do that stretch at home. My physio did recommend it though as well. He said go get the heaviest thing that you can carry, the heaviest weight that you can carry for like at least a minute or two that your grip will tolerate, and just hold on to it and like walk around your house with it or whatever. Maybe I should do that. Still play games, but very little, like maybe 4 to 6 hours a week max, if at all. You know, there's a list I want to play. Yeah, I think that I've been able to separate the idea of what's the word? Like story narrative games that I feel like I can get something out of. I've been able to separate that from kind of the bullshit, you know, like the bullshit games, like the time sinks for me. And not that World of Warcraft is a bullshit game, but the way I was playing it was a time sink, right? Like there's an event on right now called like the Collector's Bounty in World of Warcraft that is calling to me, where they increase the drop rate of like all the old stuff. And this is the thing that I used to do all the time. You want to talk about fucking useless time sinks? I used to kill Arthas like 20 times a week on 20 alts to get invincible. I would spend hours, like an hour or two a day, every day, doing just one dungeon, one raid to get a fucking mount. Like, oh my god. You want to talk about time sinks? I'm trying not to play the time sink games again. It's one of the reasons why I won't play Baldur's Gate 3 again. So I already played it. I already beat the game. I'm not playing it again, man. I would not be able to handle a second playthrough. I would time sink it. I know lots of people that are just happy to play Baldur's Gate 3 all over and over and over again. They're having the best time. I am not that strong. I would time sink it, unfortunately. Oh, one second, guys. Give me a sec, sorry.
Share stream.
Yo. 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 Hey. Hey. Okay. I gotta bounce, unfortunately. Some shit came up, man. Unfortunately. I gotta bounce. I apologize. We will finish this tonight. Maybe I'll stream tonight. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta bounce. Sorry. Where's our outro? Hey, so tomorrow we might draw some dragons or some hot cat girls. I don't know. We'll see what we're feeling. We'll take a vote on the Discord for dragons or hot cat girls. So I don't know. I'll probably try to finish this tonight on my own time with the other ones that I'm doing. So no shit. Fuck. Okay. God damn it. Oh shit. Pod blast. Sorry. Oh my god. I'm just ending right now. Shit. I gotta go. Welcome, guys. Okay, we're gonna speedrun this, guys. If you are, yes, I'll send you guys to one of my friends. Okay. If you guys are not familiar with the Eldritch Pod Blast, they're one of my favorite Twitch channels, favorite groups of people, favorite chats. Their chat's hilarious. I actually really love the chat over there. So welcome everybody from the Pod Blast. If you guys are new to my stream, I'm Evan. I do art for my D&D game. Right now, I'm working on a big project for a big, cool, awesome thing where we're doing a bunch of character designs for a guy named Quincy of Quincy's Tavern. So we're doing some stuff for his book. I was doing that today. I had to run because I just got told that I got to go do a thing real quick because I don't usually end this early. So we're gonna go raid my friend Mandari. She's amazing. So I'm gonna be send you guys over to Faye. She's my favorite person. So yeah, man. Wait, where is it? Cool. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just got back from a break and I had to tell everybody that I was bouncing. So I'm so sorry to have you guys come in and have me immediately dash. So I'll send you guys over to my good friend Faye. She's doing some D&D shit today. What's she doing? I assume she's doing some world building today or something. But you guys would like her. If you like anything about my stream or D&D in general, you will probably adore my dear friend Mandari. So anyway, I will see you guys later. I'm so sorry to have to end stream early today, but yeah, I think she's doing some D&D shit today. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna be working on some cool stuff. So anyway, until next time, my friends. Farewell.